Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take two.
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. This is Game Day Live. Coming to you live from Metlife Stadium at parking lot L11. Is it 11 or 10? 12? I don't know. We got kicked out of M2. Come to lot 11. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Beer Baron, Nick Villano, Vinny Parisi, Shorts Guy, all here together at one place. And Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal. Guys, put on a headset. Put on a headset right now, and hopefully it works.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. Actually, take my headset.
I can't hear you, Beer Baron.
Neither can.
Hey, Sam did something.
Yeah, dude. Hey,
Make
here
this
we are.
stuff work.
Here we are, boys.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah,
Guys, I know it's taken a minute to get here, but we're here now. How are we feeling? You got the
I feel
Ant Crew brew
the
going
Ant Crew.
up and down.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
this is great. I love being back here in the Meadowlands parking lot.
I know.
Not for the way that the Meadowlands staff treats us here in the parking lot, but I like being back here at the tailgating. This is just like old times.
Yeah,
It's so much fun.
dude.
Listen, I love American whiskey. I love it. I love our pregame parties there, our
Sure.
pregame podcast there, but there's nothing like a parking lot tailgate, people walking up and down. That's what's missing, right?
Yes.
That is the camaraderie of just people walking in, saying hi to you, sharing beer, sharing food, everything like
Sharing
that.
food.
It's
It's a
everybody out there.
That's the
It's a
thing.
celebration.
We're
We're Devils
food.
fans. We're Devils
Yeah.
fans.
Yes.
We're celebrating being
Woo.
Devils fans. It's
Let's
outstanding.
go.
We're all finally here together, too, which is outstanding.
Hey, and listen. The one thing that Flyer fans and Devil fans can agree on
It's one
is
thing.
we hate the Rangers.
Rangers suck.
Yes,
The
I heard it
Rangers
somewhere.
suck.
I heard it out there somewhere.
Rangers suck.
Hey, Flyers fans,
Rangers
the Rangers suck. Come on, you can say Rangers suck, right? You can't even do that. Yeah, whatever. They're
Yeah,
not fun.
whatever.
This is why I'm wearing all black today, because it's a Flyers funeral.
Hey!
I love it.
Nice.
Love it.
Hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. The atmosphere is great.
Yes.
We have ribs, we have wings, we have full cookouts. I feel like somebody
yeah.
parked at their own house over there. It's amazing.
Yeah, by the way, if you're on the way here, we got 2 6-foot subs that everybody has to help us eat. So come to
Shout
Lot
out to all the
L12.
people who brought food.
All right,
Yes.
yes.
Very much.
Thank you to the
very
food
much for
people.
feeding us,
Appreciate
people.
it.
Very
Well,
good.
let's talk some hockey, guys.
Sure.
We're kind of
Let's
like
get into it.
So we're coming off a loss. Vinny, you wrote about it for Pucks and Pitchforks
I did.
yesterday. Let me ask you first. What are your thoughts? Do you think that maybe they were looking ahead at this game? What happened in that Los Angeles Kings game?
Yeah, so records the day before Stadium Series games are pretty geared towards not being good for the team entering a Stadium Series game. Sometimes you wonder if they are looking ahead a little bit. You got this big family thing. They had the family skate last night.
Yep.
They kind of didn't defend well in the first period, but then it got better. They only gave up 0 5-on-5 goals.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
they didn't score any 5-on-5
No, they
goals
did
either,
not.
so that was the problem. They gave up
Yeah.
a shorthanded goal and a power play goal. If you take 6 penalties in the game, you're never going to win a game like
No.
that. So you know they end up giving up the goal to Byfield in the third period, and they weren't able to tie it with the goalie pulled themselves. So you know it was a nice to not get destroyed by the Kings. It was a tight game. They haven't given up a lot of goals over the last 4 games-ish since Jack Hughes basically made that comment about getting saves or whatever. But you know, hopefully
that
tonight
card.
they're able to come out there and get people going and score a bunch of goals.
You know, it's funny that you say that, though, about the Stadium Series record going into the game,
Yeah.
because I felt that way, but the officiating, and we talked about this before, the officiating in that game was very suspect.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that were going on. I know a lot of people were upset with Jack after he came out of the penalty box, he got accosted going into the goal. Like, he could have had a clear breakaway and probably should have gotten a penalty shot for what was going on.
Yes.
But, you know, there was no call, goes in the corner, gets into an argument with the ref. Should have gotten a game misconduct for breaking the stick and throwing it on the ice.
Possibly.
Let's be real about that. But at the same time, he's showing that passion. He's showing that the fire that he wants to win.
Absolutely.
And
He's obsessed with winning.
100%.
He shows it. He
Absolutely.
works hard on
He's
his
obsessed
footing.
with winning.
Short guy, it was right in front of our face. Did you think it was supposed to be a penalty shot?
It was definitely close. I want to say that the refs probably didn't give it to him because he did get a shot or somewhat of a shot off.
Yeah.
That's probably why they leaned towards not giving it to him. But yeah, there was all the other hallmarks of it being a penalty shot were there, and he was visibly angry. I mean, it was right in front of us on Thursday
Yeah.
where he smashed his stick and threw it
Yep.
onto the ice.
Yep.
So it was like, and both you and I think commented like, wow, he's pissed.
Yeah, and then he
He's
goes to the
pissed.
box and he tells Arvidsson from the penalty box, people
yeah.
pay money to watch me. People pay money to watch
Pointing to
me.
his number on his
yeah,
sleeve.
I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to talk about that because that's what's got all the national reports. That's what
Yeah.
everybody on ESPN and NHL Network and everybody's going to talk about is those comments. And, you know, you had a guy who was probably the front runner for the Lady Byng Trophy last year.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
now he's kind of taking on a villain role. Now
Full
he's
heel.
He's not like Brad Marchand yet, but he's at least a Kachuk, right? And
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
they're like, you know, they're all Americans, so they're kind of in that same circle. But do you like Jack Hughes as a villain? Is that what we want from
Yes.
Jack Hughes?
Yes.
I would
Yes.
say yes.
Yes,
Nico Hischier is the captain, and he's calm, he's reserved. We talked about this. He leads
Yeah.
by example type of guy. He's never going to be in the muck of things. Obviously, like post-whistle scrums he'll get himself involved in. We've seen that from day one of him in the league, but as far as like being vocal or screaming at people, that's just not his game. So
No.
And Jack is a leader on the team. Sometimes your skill and what you bring to the table does kind of force a leadership role on you, and we've seen that with Hughes. So
Yeah.
seeing
Dude.
what he does, if it inspires the team, yeah, I'm all for him.
Devil and Angel, right? Devil and
Yes.
Angel. So
Yes.
you have the Nico, who's going to be the calm presence, and
Yep.
you have the Jack. And anybody that says that this team is better with one or the other out, you're not looking at the record right.
Yeah,
because
no.
when they're both in the lineup, I think when they're 18 and 10 or
it's
something like that.
lots of- Yeah.
It's
I think
much
So
better
18
when
and
they're
10.
both in the lineup.
So when they're both in the lineup, it makes a huge difference, and I feel like because it creates a balance. The team is way more balanced when both of them are in the lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's every team needs that one player that's going to go and kick the garbage can.
Yes.
And Jack is that player.
Yes.
And because Nico won't, that's not his style. That's Jack's style, and that's
Yeah.
what we need him for,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you lead,
amongst other things. Obviously,
lead with
but-
quiet confidence in Nico, and then you have somebody that's going to kick you right in the can and be like, hey, dude, we got to get going. Like, what are we doing out here?
Yes.
So 100%. And that, I feel like that creates a perfect balance for this team, and I feel like that's what this team needs. With the young players, especially going into a game like this, there's a lot of question of, hey, you know, how are they going to handle an outdoor game? This is a big event.
Yeah.
You know, you have family, you have friends, you have all that. This is a pop and circumstance of the whole thing.
We
How are
saw-
some of
we
these
saw
younger
Holtz,
guys?
like buying jerseys because
Yes.
he's got people coming in for this. Like,
Yeah,
this is a big
exactly.
deal.
So, by the way, we see Scotty.
Oh, that's
Scotty
Scott-
standing over here. Scotty, come
Hey.
on over. So, Scotty, I'm gonna hand over to you, bud. So I'm gonna let you jump in. So whatever you have groceries in your hand, so you can put that down. Yeah. And we have Sam here with ribs.
Sam's got ribs.
Sam's
Sam's
got
got
ribs.
ribs.
Oh, those
That's a
rims are
salad.
good too.
The beefalytics. He's
It
got the
doesn't look like a
beefalytics.
salad, Sam.
Beef
Listen,
fillets.
I don't know if Elliot or Jeff are anywhere, but we are trying the ribs, guys.
They're
so-
amazing.
Yes.
These ribs are amazing.
One of you, my two friends, where are they?
Where
I
are
don't
your
know where
two
they
friends?
went.
Ryan and James.
Ryan and James. Yeah, we should bring
Let's-
Ryan and
yeah,
James
let's
over.
bring your friends
Bring
over.
Ryan and James. Scotty, I'm sorry, I was gonna bring you on, but I'm gonna hand my headset over.
Right. We got to say hi, Ryan Novosinski,
What's
What's going on, everybody?
James Nichols.
Here,
so Ryan
James, I'll
from
give you mine.
NJ.com.
Hello.
James from sorry, the fourth period stuck in my head. New Jersey hockey now.
okay.
I'm sorry. It's been, I said it so many times in a row, but now, so you guys were there. You guys were there on Thursday. You saw the game. You saw kind of a different side of Jack Hughes on the ice. First of all, did you like that side of Jack Hughes? Seeing that from a hockey perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you couldn't. It's from a pure intensity perspective, you gotta love that, right?
Yeah.
And to see a guy like Jack, all the stuff that he's kind of dealt with this year, and he's almost watching from afar, given the injuries, as the frustrations mount up this year. For him to do what he did was an awesome showing of passion. Maybe he shouldn't threw the stick on the ice, but that's that's one of those things.
Well, and I'll tell you what too, the team loved it. They in the locker room they were very genuine. They were like, that fires us up. We play harder for that kind of thing. So, like he said, maybe reel it back a little bit with the stick throwing, but for sure, yeah, we definitely like seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some issues that came with that game. There were some issues with the offense, especially. And we've spent a lot of time, I think both of you have written about this new defensive system and how it's really helped them stop those chances against Nico Dawes and Vitek Vanacek. But now we're seeing kind of an offensive decrease.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think the two are connected in any way?
Well, yes, because obviously they're a lot more effort is kind of being focused on that defensive side of the ice. But what works about the Devils is the reason I think it's going to kind of, at some point, the two are going to mesh pretty well. The centers that this team have, they're perfect for this system, right? Because the centerman is so active in that system, and you have guys like Lazar that love it, right? I have a story coming out soon where Lazar, he said straight up, he likes to be the guy that puts out the fires in his own end. Okay, now when that happens and he forces a giveaway or whatever may happen, the other guys, they spring up the ice and you're good. You shoot away. And they have so many good, talented wingers on this team. Jack, now is a left wing now too.
Yeah.
Once they spring up the ice, they can create those, great chances through the neutral zone and then obviously into the offensive zone and hopefully put some points on the board. I think at some point you're going to see a mesh here. It's just a matter of getting, the legs under them.
And the reason why it works for me too is just because when they focus on that defense in their own end and they recover those pucks, and we saw this last year, they're one of the top teams in the league that scored off the rush, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to recover the puck, take the puck up ice on the rush, and they're going to put pucks in the net. So I think the change was necessary, maybe a little bit too late, but it was necessary and it's working.
The Devils are getting goaltending now too,
Yeah, and I was going to bring that up, but also two rookie defensemen playing huge roles on this team with Luke Hughes and Simone Nemitz. What have you guys seen from them?
We've seen a lot, and way more than I think a lot of us expected to this season. Luke withstanding, I think we knew that he was going to have an improved role, but Nemec filling in the role of Hamilton has helped tremendously. It hasn't made it, a moot point because you still miss Hamilton, you still miss that shot in the power play, but my goodness, he's the way that kid's been able to step in and instantly kind of fill that role. Makes you wonder, maybe he should have made the team out of training camp too. He's ready.
Yeah,
he did. He did.
James, do you have any?
That's just well said. And at this point, not to compare the two against each other, but I've been continually impressed with. I expected this from Luke. I've been continually impressed with Nemitz. And at the end of the year, when we have to decide, who's our Calder vote going to, I might consider putting him up in, the top 5 there, because I've just been so impressed with how he handles the game at 5-on-5, how he handles the game, with consistent pressure as a top pairing defense. He's on the top unit.
Yeah.
It's just incredible to see what he's been doing. He's been so humble about it. He's been, his confidence continues to grow. And as a 19-year-old, he just turned 20 the other day. It's incredible to see.
He's really confident in the sense that when he was sent down, he was saying he was firm with his belief that, hey, I should have made the team coming out, and he was right.
He was right.
Yep, he was right.
I'll say this. So you kind of mentioned the goaltending, and I pat myself on the back as much as I possibly can. We have to do that in life.
I'll back you up on that. You've been saying this for well over a year.
So we had Chico on in the offseason. And Chico asked
Love Chico.
Yeah.
Chico's great. He asked me point blank, who's going to be the goalie of choice in the playoffs? And I said Nico Dawes. I said
Wow.
Nico Dawes because I think this was after Hellebuck signed. So it was after
Yes.
that
Okay.
dream had kind of ended. And I said, I did caveat it that he has to come back from the hip injury because it's just such a wild card. But the reason I said that is because when Akira Schmid got called up last year, not the playoff one, but the one before that, I was told it's because they prioritized Nico Dawes' development.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he had potential to be the guy. Obviously, Schmid played amazing in the playoffs, but it just seemed like the Devils had this belief in him. What have you seen from him, just as like from a skill point as a goalie? Like, does he have it, like to kind of be it?
Yeah, I'm a believer every day more and more. A point of emphasis for him has been that the surgery that he had has opened him up. He says, I've been able to make these lateral movements I wasn't able to make before. I was able to push off each post side to side like I've never been able to do before. He's got the athleticism. I think he reads the game really well. And actually, Brendan Smith was very complimentary of him the other day, and he was just like, listen, this guy, like, he has it. Like, you could see it. He reads the puck really well. He finds the puck through traffic really well somehow. And granted, the Devils have been doing a better job clearing crease of bodies. But what I'm seeing is I'm definitely. I know we were at this point last year with Schmid, and we believe that this could be the guy of the future. I think it's just a bit different. I do think that Dawes has that next level to his game. And that's no slight to Schmid. I just think that Dawes is really playing his way up through the system. And again, would the Devils probably like somebody who's got a little bit more experience under their belt? Sure, but as of right now, I mean, there's no doubt he's the number one guy.
So yeah, I know we gotta let you go because there's interviews. So I want to give Vinny a chance to ask one more question. Just Vinny, what do you got?
Sure. So touched on everything basically, but when you talk about Nico Heischer's game, I mean, he looked defeated, and after they lost to Carolina a couple weeks ago, and it was tough at that point in time. Well, all of a sudden, Nico Hischier, he talks to the media, he's real honest, and since then he's just been a madman out there. He's looked like a man on a mission in all three zones, just absolutely incredible. What's your guys' thoughts on the way he's
Exactly what you just said. I mean, what Nico's been able to do, last season and going into this season, playing, and get, rebounding from the injuries and to be able to do what he's done, it almost seems like, and we talk about this a lot, like this team is a very momentum-based kind of team. Like once they get momentum, it goes kind of high, and that can also that can have its drawbacks too, because when they don't create their own momentum, it's not really there. The success isn't really there. But when Nico's hot, this team is hot, right? And the team is playing a lot better, and with the further emphasis on the defensive side, I think that's really unlocking, Nico as well, like to where you play against the Avalanche just a couple weeks ago, and to match his line up against that top line with all, all Colorado's great guys. The future Hall of Famers. That's how you play Nico. That's how you play a Selke level forward like Nico. And folks, he's going to win a Selke one day.
Yeah,
he is.
He is. And you said it right there, matching him up against the McKinnon line. I mean, his assignment was Nathan McKinnon. And to that point of the season, coming into that game, I think McKinnon had scored in 13 straight games. And
MVP front runner.
For sure, right? And he's going to get the Hart nominations, potentially win it. And look, McKinnon had no answer for him. He just shut him down. He was like a fly on him. He would not get out of his way. And just to see the strength he had on both Nathan McKinnon and the puck when he retrieved it was unbelievable. He's now playing. Earlier this season, some woes, but now things have started to progress in more towards what we saw last year. And he's just doing an excellent job defensively, and it's helping the Devils push the puck up the ice.
So I want to give you guys a minute. I know you guys are working on a bunch of stuff right now, but can you promote anything? Do you have any idea what you're going to be writing about after the Stadium Series? Like, is there cool stuff coming out from you guys?
Yeah.
Well, you got to ask me after the Stadium Series, so, because it could go one of two ways. I mean, I don't, you probably might ask, but I guess it's so hard to make a score prediction because this could be 6-3 Devils, this could be 7-1. You don't know. The game will dictate that. All I will say is continue to keep supporting local journalism and subscribe to NJ.com if you can.
Yeah, if you're not paying for NJ.com, I'm sorry, I'm going to give James his flowers, but if you're not subscribing for NJ.com, you're missing some really good just journalism.
Thank you.
It's good. Like, it's not only journalism, but it's entertaining content as well. He's not just reporting. Ryan is doing a great job of hitting both sides of every single argument. So
And
I gotta
following
give
him on Twitter.
Make sure you're subscribing to NJ.com, people. It's not that much.
Thank you,
But
guys. Thank
James, now you go.
Same thing, and we all know what's coming up.
Yeah.
Trade deadline's coming up. There's going to be a lot of stuff on that. The flavor of this season is the goaltending, is the blue line, so, there'll be more stuff on that too. So appreciate, everybody who reads. I appreciate everybody who reaches out, everybody who, says thank you and all that stuff. Like we really appreciate that. We know a lot of people, like to interact, and we like to interact too. So it's a good time. We were having a lot of fun this
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Some people go over the line. But
I'll give
I
that.
mean, NJ Hockey now, I mean, James is doing a great job just kind of building that site up from the ground up. And we're really excited where you're taking it. I think it's been really fun to watch you doing. You're getting reports. You got Elliot Nichols over here kind of getting breaking
Hockey
news.
insider.
So, we're really loving what you guys are doing.
Thank you,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
both of you guys coming
Gentlemen,
on.
thank you so much.
Guys, go
Thank
get
you
a
so much.
sandwich.
You
Go
guys
get
are
some
incredible.
ribs. Go
Appreciate
Will
you
do.
guys having
Good
us on.
stuff. Very
drink
good.
This is great, by the
non-alcoholic
way. You guys
beverages.
have a really
Everything.
good thing going here.
Thank
so
you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for coming.
But we got
James and Ryan.
Did you try
James
the
and
Angry
Ryan.
Stew?
Ooh, thanks, guys.
We have Ann Crew Stew. It's an Irish stew made out of Ann Crew brew.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, very good.
We got our next guest. So
Oh,
we're
our
going
next
back to
guest.
Thanks, guys.
Good to see
We're
you.
jumping
See you
on
later.
if
Durango Steve made the Ann Crew stew.
Sam Kassan. I know.
Hey!
I'm not even saying hi to Sam. That's how we're just jumping right into
just like
things.
in and out.
I like your name.
Nice
Sam.
to meet you,
I'm Sam.
Nice to meet you,
Sam
Sam.
Kassan with the New Jersey. Everybody gives Sam a
Come
round
on,
of
give
applause.
Sam a
guys.
round of applause.
Sam.
I don't know how I fall in the radio excellence of those two, but
But Sam, I mean, you've been with the Devils for a couple years. You've seen a lot of different things, right? You've been in the locker room. You've seen a lot of different sides of the Devils. We were talking to Ryan and James about Jack on Thursday. I've seen Jack get hot, but Jack was on fire on Thursday, and I'd never seen that. I'd never seen the passion. And just like some of his post-game interviews, he's been saying different things. Are you you look at it from a different spectrum than a lot of us? Do you see it as different? You see him at practice every single day. Do you see a different side of him, or is this just 8 times 11?
no, I think that's always been there. He's got that drive. I mean, that's what makes him so good. It's it's not just the skill; it's also that drive and that intensity that he has. It doesn't come out as much, and it's kind of funny that we joked last year when he won the Lady Bing. We were kind of or it was second place, I should say. When he's a runner-up for the Lady Bing, it was like, okay, is what it is. And then second game of the season, he takes a fighting penalty, and that's out the window. But that's always been a part of his game, and I think when he gets fired up, it's sometimes you want to tamp it down a little bit. You don't want to take a penalty, you don't want to go overboard, you don't want to cross any lines, but you love that aspect of him. That's what makes him such a good player. And when he's fired up like that, when he's got a guy that he's kind of riding, that's when he's at his best. So it's funny because I think when he gets in that mode, he plays his best and he plays even better, and he has that extra drive. I mean, you saw him coming out of the penalty box. He had the big eyes immediately. He was going for that breakaway. So I love that aspect of his game. Again, and you don't see it cross that far in the perimeter. I mean, we saw it obviously against the Kings, but typically he's got it pretty much under wraps. He can use it to his liking when he wants to. But honestly, you're asking me, I love seeing it. I love seeing him John with the guy in the box. I love the whole thing. That's what makes Jack special.
So let me ask you about this new defensive system that we've heard so much about, right? And do you have any insider looks? You were with this team during the All-Star break. You kind of saw what do you think drove the change? Do you think it was one thing, or do you think it was just an overall thing? And what do you see from the change now?
Yeah, I think it was a conversation. Lindy Ruff was pretty adamant that it's not a despotism thing with the Devils. It's not this is the way we're going to do things. This is how it's going to be. There's a lot of interaction and communication between the coaching staff and the players. They had a lot of meetings, and what kind of stood out to me was they usually have the meetings and the players stand up, they give their opinion, they say their piece. Then they decide to split up the forwards and the defensemen. And then you had some of the younger defensemen who were a lot more willing to speak their mind and say what they thought. I think when the whole group was together, they were a little less willing to kind of be vocal. They kind of deferred a little bit to the veteran players, to the guys that have always been there. But when they split them up, the younger D were kind of standing up saying, hey, here's what we're seeing on this play, here's what we're seeing on this play, here's where we think we can get better. And I think it was a natural evolution from both sides. And so it's kind of just going back to a standard center role model responsibility, if you will. So you got the center working low, working the corners, as opposed to more like a zone read where you're trying to hit that chip out. So you layer it to the crease. You got different players in different layers or different zones, if you will. And so there's pluses and minuses to it. Obviously, some of the minuses, you don't have that guy high in the zone. You don't have Hughes high ready to jut out. You don't have Brad. There's a reason Brad had 40 breakaways last year, because he's the high guy in the zone. Once they get that turnover, they push the play, and you want to play to your strengths. Obviously, speed's their strength, skills their strength, transitions their strength. But at that point, they're like, all right, now we're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of that transition game, sacrifice a little of that speed, hem things in a little bit, and be a little more protective around our net, play a little stronger defensively. So they've been much better defensively. The offense, it may look like they don't have the same amount of rush opportunities, and that's kind of why it's been more of a transition into that end. But I think essentially it was like a conversation between coaches and players that kind of evolved over and over and over time, and this is kind of where they agreed to go with it, and so far so good.
And before this season started, I don't know if a lot of people would have thought it'd be rookie versus rookie in net for the Stadium Series game once we got to February. What have you seen from Nico Dawes and how he's kind of matured into the role that he has now been given, kind of where he's earned it and kind of by force? Yeah,
I mean, I think his athleticism is something that was kind of overlooked a lot, and I think he's really showing that. And it was a part of his game that he wasn't, his side to side, everyone said was a little bit slow, and he's worked on that. And his positioning, obviously he's a big goaltender, 6'3", so he takes up a lot of net. And he uses a lot of that net in spatial range, if you will, to cut down angles and such. And so getting side to side was a little bit of a weakness, and he's improved on that. And I think watching that LA game, just seeing him do split glove save, split pad save, I mean, that's something that really wasn't there 2 years ago. Maybe the hip had, something to play with that. So he had the surgery. It was clearly bothering him a little bit 2 years ago, last year. Had the issue, had the surgery, got it all taken care of. And honestly, I'm amazed that he's been able to bounce back the way he is. And maybe looking at it, maybe because that hip issue goes way back to before he even turned pro, when he was still when he was playing in Germany during the pandemic later.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might have been why people looked at him and said, all right, he doesn't have the side-to-side speed, doesn't kind of have that. And since that surgery, he's looked like a completely different goaltender. So I think that's been a big reason, a big factor. He doesn't have that pain, that discomfort. So he's really been able to accelerate in that aspect. So I think that's been the biggest difference.
Absolutely.
So he still has the position. He still has got the size.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's getting that lateral movement.
Yep.
And that's a funny thing, because he was from what I remember, he was an overager when he got drafted.
Yeah.
He got drafted in the third round, so it's not like he went very, very late for a goalie. But still, I mean, to be drafted as an overager, that's usually means something didn't happen that first time or the first draft year. But I was telling the guys, I don't know if you heard, but when Chico asked me before the season who I think the goalie of note in the playoffs is going to be, I said it was going to be Dawes, because they liked him when they called up Schmid last year before Dawes' surgery. I was told because they want Dawes to develop. They I don't want to say they prioritize his development, but they thought his development would be better as a starter, while Schmid would get more out of being a backup in New Jersey. So now that you've seen Dawes play a little bit, and not saying anything about anybody else, but do you think he has starter potential going forward? Not even just this year, just in the long run.
Absolutely, I do. I think he's got all the tools. Obviously we never know what's going to happen in the future, but you look at some of the draft picks in the past, it's like the 7th round goalie, the 5th round goalie. It's the guys that go overlooked a little bit. And people forget goalies take longer to develop. You're usually 24, 25 when you even just kind of break into the league and establish yourself as maybe a backup. And then you're 26, 27 when you really establish yourself as like a go-to kind of guy. I mean, you'll get the Vasilevskis every now and then. You'll get the Hellbucks every now and then that come in that are pretty young, that can dominate. But most goaltenders take a long time to really develop. And so the potential is there. Who knows? Obviously, you take a flyer, and they draft these guys. You mentioned he was a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
Because you're drafting these guys on where you think they're going to be potential-wise. So you're not, like, looking at a guy like, all right, where's he going to be in 2 years? Where's he going to be 3 years? Like, where's he going to be in 10 years?
Yeah.
How good is this guy going to develop? What is his ceiling going to be, and how can we get there? And so they look at Nico Dawes with a very, very high ceiling. That's why you grab a guy in the 3rd round. And so maybe it takes a little longer. Maybe it's a windier road. But eventually, they do think he has that capability, and I think he has the asset. He has all the assets.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of him putting in the work. He's got a hard work ethic. So can he get there? Knock on wood. But we'll see what happens.
There's a lot of leadership going on with the Devils. We talked about Hughes earlier when you first came on. We talked about Heischer with Ryan and James. I've seen a lot from Andre Palat lately, kind of stepping up to the plate. He's not like a superstar or anything like that, but he's kind of bringing a little bit lately of what he brought to Tampa. And he's a little bit older, so it's not quite the same. But, what have you seen from Palat?
Two things. Mostly, so I'll start with on the ice. obviously he plays the way you want him to play. He's a battler. He's a warrior. That's exactly what he is. And it's hard when Andre Palat, at his age, at his veteran status, the many years he's got in the league, all the cups he's got,
lots of
when
playoff
he's
games.
going hard, when he's blocking shots, and we talk about the recommitment to the defense. We did talk about they did make some structural changes, some tweaks here, some tweaks there, but you're seeing more block shots, you're seeing more bodies in lanes, you're seeing a lot more of that sacrifice. And like I said, when you don't have that guy, the transition out, there's a lot more just chip outs. So they're committing themselves to those aspects of the game, and it's easier when a guy like Andre Palat, a Stanley Cup champion, is doing those things. For the younger guys, or the Nate Bastions of the world, and these guys that even Jack Hugheses of the world, the younger guys, the Alexander Holtz, when they see this warrior, this battler, he's willing to do this. He's willing to sacrifice. Curtis Lazar is getting banged up every game, I think.
Yeah.
He's getting huddled, hobbled and buckled from blocking shots. So when you see Andre do that, that's one thing. And then I think in the locker room is the biggest area he's been a factor. He's vocal in the room. I think people think he's kind of quiet and reserved with the media. But if you see him in the room in his interactions, he's very vocal with the guys. On practice, he's very talkative with the guys. So he's a guy that kind of pushes the guys to be better. And I see those leadership aspects in that realm. And there's a reason he got here last year and he had an A right away. Like they knew what he was bringing, and then the next year is like, you are a guy. Here's your A. Be that guy, and he's been that guy.
Absolutely.
So my last question is just, I was doing a lot of research on the 2014 game and kind of how the game script went. The Devils obviously took I think it was a 3-1 lead.
Yep.
And then the game got too fast for an older team. If that happens tonight, that's 100% of the Devils' side of things. If it gets too fast, they're going to outrun the Flyers. So let me ask you, what do you think is going to be the game script here? How do you think this game is going to go?
I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a lot of that grinding.
Okay.
Like I said, the Devils they're less about the quick transition right now. They want to be strong defensively. That's their focus. That's been their emphasis. And really it was going into the All-Star break. The last two games, at Carolina, at Tampa, those two games they started kind of putting things in there, came out of the break with a couple practices, really got a hold of the way they wanted to play. So I think they're going to be blocking a lot of shots. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be gritty. I think you might see some lines crossed a little bit. I think it's going to be very similar to the Kings game. The Kings play a very similar style to Philadelphia. They're going to try to muck it up sometimes. They're going to try to get some of that post-whistle scrums. And for the Devils, they're kind of walking that line because that's not their game.
Yeah.
They don't want to necessarily play that. They don't want to fall into that trap. They also can't get bullied around.
Yeah.
So they got to kind of answer the bell enough to a point that they're not getting pushed around, but not quite cross the line into being who they aren't. That's not their identity. And then they can expose Philly. The Philly, they do like to pinch their D. So if they can get a quick chip out, I think they can expose them on the back end, and I think they can open up some offense there. But I do think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Sam Kassan, New Jersey Devils. I want to give you a sec just to kind of promote everything you guys are doing for this game, during the game, after the game, whether it's some of the post-game stuff that Catherine's doing or Amanda. Let everybody know what you guys are up to.
Yeah. Well, obviously we'll have a great video on the team website that'll recap the entire game, pretty much from the start to finish. Guys' arrivals off the bus, guys getting dressed, all those hype reels, all those those sizzle reels. So you'll see all that, all the social channels. I know we had Brendan Smith skating with his son yesterday, mic'd up, which is great content for the family skate. We'll have obviously game recaps. From Amanda. She'll be writing our game recap. I'll do kind of an overall column type piece, and just check out the social channels because we're going to really be killing it. We got a couple guys on the glass. We got a lot of access from the NHL, so thank you to them, and allowing some of these teams to let their content teams flourish too as well. So tons of great stuff. Check out the social, the Twitter, or excuse me, X or whatever you want to call it now.
Whatever. Still Twitter,
Instagram, all those things. So
Twitter,
yeah,
X.
just follow the Devils' main accounts. Jump on the website. Tons and tons and tons of content. We've got a whole Stadium Series page with so much stuff. So if you're loving this game, even if you don't do it today, check it out tomorrow. And if you can't, listen to Matty, Chico, and me on the radio.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sam, I really
Very
appreciate
good.
you coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much
Check
for
out
coming on.
Matt Chico and Sam on the radio. They're doing a killer job. I'm not going to say that sometimes that I put the radio on while the TV is on, but
I won't tell Bill and Dano.
Yeah. Bill and Dano are great, but no, it's
are.
it's when the other guys are on. When we those
absolutely.
national guys,
Absolutely.
sometimes we
Yeah.
got to have a local flair in it. But
Yeah.
Sam, thanks so much for coming
Absolutely,
on.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good run.
Sam.
Everybody give a hand for Sam Kassan from New Jersey Devils. Guys, thank you so much.
We love people named Sam around here.
Oh yeah, Sam's are killing it. But
Oh
we
man,
gotta get Scotty on. Scotty,
Yeah, Scotty, come on,
Scotty.
buddy. Come on, buddy.
Here.
Hey, listen, if we gotta get it going. We're a little dead down here. We gotta get this going. We gotta get this. Let's go.
We got a woo.
Let's
There
go.
we go.
We got
That's
a
what I'm
tailgate
saying.
going. We
That's
got brats going. We got ribs going. We got beer flowing like wine.
Who's got their first outdoor game?
Oh, wait.
Oh, you got a couple guys. First outdoor game. Nice.
Really?
First Devils game
Wow.
ever.
All right.
Dude, that's a way to break it in. Hey, you're already converted.
You're already converted.
You don't want to root for them.
Get that man a
Converted.
beer.
Done.
Get that man a beer.
Done and done. Does everybody know Vinny here?
Vinny Parisi.
Vinny
the man, the myth, the legend.
in from Chicago. This is a tropical parrot. Chicago.
Yes.
Chicago.
It is way warmer
This
here
is
than
a
at
tropical
home.
paradise for
sounds
him
crazy.
right
Yeah,
here.
you're coming
It
in
is.
from California.
Yeah, but
This
it's
is-
1,000. It's not warmer
This is
here
not
than
a
that.
tropical paradise for me. No,
He
no,
has
not
a-
at all.
He has a scarf on. He has like 8 layers on. That's why
I'm literally drinking tea. All right, I'm drinking tea because that's how damn cold I am right now. And the first time I've been here in New Jersey is the first time it snows in like 2 years or something
Yeah,
like that.
pretty much.
And it snowed twice this week.
Yeah.
What is that?
crazy.
And
What
it
is
might,
that?
Hey, listen, it's going to snow
We're
tonight.
trying to give you something you
Oh.
don't
It's gonna be
have.
squalls.
Oh,
There's gonna
boy.
be squalls tonight.
And this guy's not even wearing a jacket.
No.
I don't even know how that's happening over
Just
there.
don't tell my wife. She's going to be mad.
Oh,
She might see
No,
it
you're
online.
getting
You
a
never
cold.
know.
You're getting a
Yeah, I
cold.
don't think so. I think I'm okay with that.
ribs.
But no,
We got ribs. I'm
Yeah.
good right now. But we
Everybody
got
try the
ribs. We got and crew brews.
we got sandwiches.
We got 6-foot
Sandwiches.
submarinos over there, and I do hear that the team is on their way. Thank you
Let's
to
go.
Max over here. That
What
the
do we
team,
think they're going to be wearing? I heard there's a jersey flare. Tyler Toffoli kind of hinted at it on social media.
I'm going with the Jersey Mafia.
has
It's
you
gonna
know,
be
track
something,
suits.
yeah.
I'm going with the
You got to,
tracksuits,
with the big gold chain.
Yeah.
soprano style.
Yes,
That'd be
100%.
awesome.
He
I
did
need
say the only hint that he gave is that it is very typical New Jersey.
Yes.
So
They said it's going to be a leisure, so you know.
1,000%. It's gotta
Yeah,
be the tracksuit.
exactly.
It's either got to be that or like the white, the undershirt, right?
The white
Like
undershirt,
yeah.
yes. No.
Wait, leave it to a typical
You
Flyers
took a
fan.
wrong turn on the turnpike.
Wait.
He goes,
Wrong
wait,
turn.
Leave
Are
it
you
to,
with her? He goes, boo her. He goes,
Leave it to a typical Flyers fan to not know how microphones work.
I
You
honestly,
can go to Philly.
Watch
You
yourself.
Can go
Don't
to
run in
Philly.
front of the car
Oh, yeah,
now.
that's
Be
all you
careful.
want.
Don't run in
That's
front of
all
the
you
car.
I mean, I would do that in front of a
yeah,
Flyers
watch out. There's a
podcast.
lot of
Oh,
cars coming
boy.
through now.
And does everyone know Shorts Guy over here?
She still doesn't know
He's
how
actually in
microphones
shorts.
work.
Can you
You
believe
gotta
this?
speak into a microphone for
Yes,
anybody to hear
yes.
you.
Man.
Listen, this is what it's about, though. This is how it should be. There should be fans from both sides. Everybody having a good time.
Yes.
We all hate the Rangers.
And we all hate the Rangers.
all hate- That's
The
something,
Rangers
yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
I like this team. This guy's smart.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will
that.
say, I don't hate their jersey. Their jersey's not.
No,
it's
their
not
jersey's
terrible.
good.
Their
Although
jersey-
the patch on the side is kind of weird because
Don't,
see.
don't throw snowballs.
Let's see.
Don't do it.
Oh,
no,
okay.
if they're
That-
throwing
And
snowballs,
you guys,
we're throwing
they got
snowballs.
you got the numbers on the top. Oh, okay. All
mean,
right.
yeah.
Numbers
I
on the top.
like
all
that.
right.
like that.
They
See,
should be
this
their
is-
new
this-
road
Those are
jerseys.
not bad. Those are not bad.
Full-time.
It is, yeah.
Full-time road jerseys.
You know what, though?
I'd be
I
here
gotta
for
say
it.
that the Devils warm-up jerseys. If you saw the Devils warming up,
Yeah.
they
Those
had
were
those
pretty
Adidas. They had the white one with the black logo with the red trim
Yep,
on it.
yep.
I'm like, I know there's a lot of people that are like anti this look for the actual jersey to like, but if we go into the next generation where there's gonna be like a change in what the jersey looks like, this might be it.
I wouldn't.
I like
surprise
it.
if
I
they
like it
make an
without the
alternate.
circle.
I like this.
They're
This
gonna
is-
wear. They're gonna wear it at home sometime in March.
By the
Varsity.
way, the
And-
pre-orders.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you didn't get one of these jerseys, you can get. They're back to being pre-ordered now on the websites. I pre-ordered mine this morning.
Oh,
or
there
you
you
can buy it
go.
inside apparently.
Who knows when they're actually going to
I
come
was
in?
gonna say, maybe
but
you'll
you
get
can
it for the
pre-order
next time
them
we play
now
outside.
until they
Maybe you'll
sell
get it
out
in time
again.
for that. The
Yeah,
next
probably.
stadium series.
The next stadium series.
What's
but-
that? The last one was 8 years ago, so you get it in
10
2032.
years ago.
2032, yes.
Oh,
exactly.
10 years
so
ago.
Yeah,
2034.
we'll be old men. We'll walk out here with our canes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
go.
Let's go.
Well,
Let's
talk
go.
about.
And did everyone see Kevin Ball in the New York Football Giants
Yes.
helmet?
Who here's a
last night?
Giants fan?
Let's go, Giants!
Who here's a Jets fan? They both stink.
He's a Bears fan. He has nothing
They
to say.
stink too.
He
I
has
don't
nothing
even.
to
I don't know
say.
what
The
I'm
Bears
chirping for.
from
Bears.
Chicago.
I don't even know what I'm chirping for. They stink.
Well, if you saw the football helmet
guy.
with Kevin
Short
Ball,
guys here.
if
Yeah,
any of
let's
you
get short
happen
guys.
to listen to the Let's Go Devils podcast, specifically Devils After Dark, you know there's another football helmet that comes into play quite
up,
often. And I do believe Sam
Oh,
Wu,
Oh,
there it is!
There it is.
the touchdown
Oh,
helmet.
It's frozen, so it's going to be a little
It's a
tight.
little frozen.
It's a little tight.
And we do have the football for Paul Marino
Bum, bum, bum,
to come
bum,
and
bum,
throw touchdown passes, and Sam Wu's going to do touchdown calls.
Yeah.
He's
You got the music,
he's
Sam?
looking for it now.
I don't know if that's only in our earphones, this helmet is going to crack one day.
Probably.
And then we're going to glue it
might
back
be
together.
Today. It might be today with how
I have
cold
to
it is.
say, it looks great on you, bud.
It does. Does this helmet not look great?
Oh my God.
Does this helmet look great? Come on, give him some love for this helmet over here.
Yeah, it's going to take an hour to get it off. May as well give him some
There
more.
it is. There's the L
Give him
button.
the old Heisman.
Wow.
The old
There you
Heisman.
There we
Four
go.
touchdowns in one game.
He might throw it out there. You be careful. You
So
never
we're
know.
going to get Paul Marino here soon. We're going to get some touchdown and pocket cookies. Lots of pocket cookies. I think it's Woo 42.
Yeah, it should be.
Woo 42.
Omaha! Omaha!
We got our boy Max here. I see we
Yeah,
got Ted
Max.
over there.
Yeah,
All
we got a lot of
right.
followers
Max,
here.
you got to go grab a beer, bud.
We got
He's
Max.
got one.
Go
Max
grab,
is
Max has
where,
one.
how did you not crack it open yet?
Max is the king chugger.
Come on, Max.
He chugs like
Come
none
on,
other.
Max.
Oh, she's gonna shotgun a beer.
And his
Shotgun a beer.
In his beautiful Kansas City Scouts Nico Heischer jersey.
Listen, we promote responsible drinking.
But yes,
Yes.
drink responsibly.
drink.
We
drink
record-
You need to be
irresponsibly.
21.
Responsibly.
All right.
Responsible drinking, but please come
Yes.
here and drink all of our beers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Until you
seriously.
can't walk.
Actually,
Hey, we're
actually,
here.
We don't have a lot
We're
left.
having a
so
party.
Anyone
Hey,
that
wait.
wants an Ant Crew brew,
Yeah.
come and get one.
We got to give a big
And how about Durango Steve and the
Durango-
Ant Crew?
oh,
the
yeah,
Ant
that-
Crew stew.
Oh my
Durango
God.
Steve with the Ant Crew stew. It was the most delicious thing I've had all day. We have some amazing ribs. I got my brother here. I got this is a family affair. This is a great time.
Oh yeah.
This is what it's all about.
I think we're almost out of Submarino as well.
Yeah.
Looks
they
like
went
that's
quick.
that.
look at
Thank
that.
You, Scotty.
And who-
They went quick.
Hey, listen.
Who gave us the chop block knife
I see
to
a
cut
guy,
it?
I see
By the way.
a guy in a Buffalo Bills hat. We might have you go through a table at some point tonight. I'm saying right now.
Oh, yeah.
We might have to do that. We might have to make
Only
that
if
happen.
it's on fire.
We're gonna
Yeah, it's
we'll
gonna be
light
on
it on fire. That's and we'll do it safely, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the fire.
Yeah.
We got a fire
We
pit.
got
over
a
there.
fire pit, and stuff, and water. We'll just douse you out. Don't worry about it.
Boys, I got to tell
Don't
you.
worry about the cold. It'll be fine.
This
It'll
is
be
one
fine.
of those. This is one of those events. Like this is not something that we normally get a chance to do, right? So we don't normally get a chance to go outside.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shotgun!
Uh-oh,
Ramon,
he's
it's
shotgun.
Max.
Oh, we're
You gotta come over
shotgunning.
here,
Come
Max.
on, get on camera, Max.
Max, you gotta
Come
get
on,
over
Max.
here.
Max is our chugger from Boston. Boston.
From Boston.
From Boston.
He's gonna shotgun a beer.
He's going to shotgun it.
live on camera. Max, get
Max.
over here.
Come on, Max.
Hey Max.
But we're going to.
Watch out,
Max,
don't
get
get run
over
over.
here.
Don't
Yeah,
get run
watch
over.
the car. All right, there we go.
You got,
All right, got him on
Massachusetts-
camera here.
Massachusetts.
He's got a great Ant Crew brew. From the amazing Departed Souls Brewery.
Yes, sir.
This is you go. I got my tea. I'm gonna shotgun my tea with you.
I'll chug
yeah.
what's left in this. I'll chug what's
My
left in
tea
this
and
with
lemon.
I got a mudslide.
You. All right.
Look at that.
Woo!
They're going.
Let's give him a Ric Flair.
Hey! There we go.
Way
There
to
we
go,
go.
Max. Hell yeah.
Man, it's
Good
definitely
work.
about
There we
time we
go.
got a chance
Good
to
work.
chug a beer together, bud.
All right,
Been a long time.
can we get Max 2 claps and a Ric Flair?
There it is.
All right.
Thank you, Max.
Well, we're having a great time over here.
There's
I'm
only-
so happy Vinny's in town
Yeah, we got to slide over a little
from
bit.
Chicago. Oh, we got to move
Yeah,
over.
you got to move over. Now
Right.
you're on the
Hey,
camera's
there
right
you
there.
go.
that's
There's
what you've been
camera.
saying the whole time.
Okay.
He keeps going like this.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, is there something happening?
Radio people, We're
Yeah,
like, oh, what, the
seriously.
camera? What's that?
What is that all about? What are you
Yeah.
using the radio
Cameras.
Listen, man, this what a great atmosphere. The whole parking lot is packed. Even though we couldn't be in M because they said it wasn't available.
Yep.
Clearly, there's a lot of people over there, and there's a lot of people over here. We're having a good time. Everybody's drinking, eating, having a great
Oh, yeah.
time. Let's go. This is going to be a great night. This is going to be a great game.
3 hours away.
3 hours.
3
away.
hours
You want to
away.
get even more hype?
Only 3 hours.
Now, I know everyone here is probably going in to see the Jonas Brothers.
Oh
probably.
yeah.
I
Well,
see.
how about Gaslight Anthem?
I see.
Oh,
Well,
hey, wait.
Yeah, we got to tell them that story.
Yes.
We were in the parking lot because, we got kicked out. We had to move all the way over here after we were halfway set up over there. All of a sudden we hear, it's the Devil's Goal Horn, and Gaslight Anthem plays Howl.
very
Yes.
nice.
And you could hear it clear
Live.
as day from out
Live.
here.
Very nice.
It's going to be
Multiple times,
awesome.
multiple
I need 7
Oh,
goals.
Yes.
all
I need a
wanna-
Sam Woo score like I need
let's-
Air to
let's
Breathe.
get a
A
wild.
Sam Wu scored
We-
tonight.
Yeah.
If we
phenomenal.
don't get a Sam Woo score today, I don't know what to tell
We
you.
need a John
Beer
Marino
assist right there.
point, an assist or a goal, so we can have a touchdown call later on this evening.
Yes.
Live in
That-
person
yes.
in the parking lot.
Yes. Yes.
No, thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
And at
Yeah.
that point, too, With the football
I'm
here,
good, I'm
Sam's
good.
going to have to throw a football.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
My
It's
buddy
gonna
right
have
there.
to be
My
an
buddy right there in
actual
the
toss
in
of
the
the
Brodeur
football.
jersey. Ask him right there. Do you want a
With the football
mudslide?
call.
Oh, Brodeur jersey over there. And he's got his
Good man
Of
right
course he
there.
did.
He's
He's
a good man right
He's
there.
he's got his Devil's
There you
jammies
go.
on over there. I love it.
Mudslide.
I love it.
That's for you, bud. That's how we do it over here.
Oh,
And how do we feel about these new Stadium Series jerseys? We
Look at
like
this.
them?
Dude,
You like
this
the
jersey
practice
right here,
jersey?
this
You
jersey-
like these?
I see somebody go, "Hey, but
There's
why?
one.
But why? Because it's the tradition. You like the traditional look.
The old home jersey,
The old
that's
home
right.
jersey.
Who remembers when they used to wear white at home? There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There's with the stripe on the bottom right
Boom.
there.
That's an original right
Scott
there.
Scott
Stevens.
Stevens,
Yeah, that's
right there.
Stevens.
Oh,
That
there we
right
go.
there.
Who do you
That's
got?
it.
That's an A.
Oh,
Come
Michael
on.
Campbell.
Wow.
The dark years.
Wow.
The dark years.
Yeah, wait, you know what's great about that
Got another
jersey?
OG from the
You
parking
got
lot
that
days.
jersey because Camilleri, when Lou was still here, was allowed to wear 23.
Yep.
And he wasn't allowed to wear 13 until Lou was like, And I think Lou was on the way out, and they were like, fine, Camilleri, you can have 13.
Number
Yes.
13. Here
I
you go.
love
Yes.
that jersey because of that reason.
Yes. He
It was
only
like
wore
the-
13
It was like
for
that transition of like
Yeah.
the Devils right there was like
Yes.
when that happened.
You know what I saw?
Oh,
I
here
saw-
comes one of the owners in her helicopter right
Yeah.
above us.
Oh, it's one of our special guests coming out.
Yeah.
That's I think that's
No,
Nick,
it's State
that's Nick
Troopers.
Jonas.
Let's go State Troopers.
Jonas and Joe Jonas and the other one. I don't know what their names are.
Hey,
Kevin.
listen.
Kevin, yes.
And then there's an irrelevant brother that nobody knows about. I'm
That's-
pretty sure.
Is there,
too,
there's
right?
another
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
too.
there's a-
That's
there
Frankie.
is, there is.
Frankie. Hey.
I thought it was Fred. Like, oh, my name's Fred Jonas.
You know
He's
what,
the one that
brothers?
plays like the banjo. And we're
Yeah.
like, we don't even play a banjo,
Yeah.
bro.
You know what brothers I like? The Hughes brothers.
Yeah.
What do you expect
Jack
to
and
see?
Luke.
What do you expect to see from the Hughes brothers today? There's no way they're not hyped out of their mind.
They got to
They
be
have
hyped.
to. They have to be.
They gotta
the
be
NHL
hyped.
soft
you
launched a
not?
relationship for Jack yesterday too. Did you see that on the ice, skating out there with a girl?
Hey.
NHL soft launch.
Jumpin' Jack
Yeah.
Flash.
A lot of bunnies out there. They're going to be a little disappointed. I see
little
Hans.
bit.
I see Hans.
What?
I see
Whoa!
Hans. All
Look at
9
this
feet
guy
of them.
coming in out of nowhere.
All 9 feet of them.
This is like an old original parking lot days group we
Yes.
got going on here.
I
This
saw
is-
people playing like a little bit of hockey in the parking lot before.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Dude, this brings me back to the Brendan Byrne Continental Airlines.
Who's
Arena.
tailgated before, either here for a Giants game or across the street at Continental back in the
Oh,
day
yeah.
for a Devils
Yeah.
game?
Oh, wait.
Come on, let me see some hands out there.
Woo!
I got you. I
Yes,
got
down.
you.
Here's Tom.
I got you one better.
What's up, buddy?
I've tailgated here for a rock and rollers game.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
New Jersey rock and rollers.
I still have a rock and rollers jersey.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
you're lucky.
amazing.
You're lucky.
I'll take it.
This one's flavored like chocolate. That's regular.
I'll take a chocolate.
Woo!
What celebration, huh?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I do.
Who did what already?
I will in a minute. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
I can
Woo.
see shorts guy, so I know it's not him.
That's for the one Ranger fan that already got, that walked by here before.
This is like a massive homecoming.
over there.
I love it. I love it. This is great.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, go get a beer. Go get a beer.
Grab a
Tom.
beer, Tom.
All right.
Just watch wires. Watch wires.
Wait,
So who we got?
Whoa!
we got?
Hey!
Sam's
Whoa, Sam Wu is signing autographs
autograph.
over here. Wow.
Wow, look at that picture.
Is that his Is that your headshot, Sam? Wow.
That's incredible.
I didn't even know Sam Wu had headshots, but apparently he does. That's amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
great.
buddy.
This is absolutely great.
Sam Wu
Yeah.
likes taking selfies. Does anyone want a
yeah,
selfie
absolutely,
with
yeah.
Sam Wu? Because Sam Wu will take selfies with you.
Just not as long as he's not setting up.
Nick.
Sam
Oh,
Wu.
no.
Then
Especially
don't.
when he's setting up, when he looks the most
I don't know
nervous
where you got it, but I'm happy to see
and
that.
panicked, that's when you got to ask Sam for a selfie.
The sun,
Nick.
Oh, he's finally wearing a
the
jacket.
sun's
put on a
going
jacket.
down.
Hey, he's wearing a jacket. There we go. Very nice.
I'm gonna steal Vinny's spot. Yeah, I was like, you know what?
It's getting cold.
The
Yeah,
sun's
it's a
going
little
down. The
chilly.
sun's
You
going
were
down.
cold like 2 hours
It's
ago.
getting a little
okay.
chilly.
It was fine. I was fine before, but then I'm like, you know what? I was like talking to someone. I was like, that fire looks really good. I'm like, if I'm thinking that, maybe I should just not be the hero and just wear the jacket, right? Like I'm not winning any awards, not wearing the jacket. I just gotta wear the jacket.
Yeah,
Wear the
that's
jacket.
true. It's
Wear
true.
the
All right,
jacket.
I'm wearing the jacket, guys. We're fine. I'm still in all black. I'm still at a Flyers funeral, guys. We are here to bury Philadelphia. Bury him! I don't know what this is. This is once again an irrelevant situation.
Not over the equipment.
Not
Not
over the
over the
equipment.
equipment.
I can't hear you. I'm wearing headphones listening to these guys because you don't matter. Anyway, let's go Devils. Woo!
There we go.
Yeah, let me ask you guys. The Devils right now are kind of on the outside looking in, but they're close to a playoff spot.
We're close.
Oh, hey, Vinny.
We're looking at the trade
Hey,
deadline.
Vin.
We're hearing a lot of rumors about a goalie. Let's just jump into it.
You know what? That's weird. I was just about to ask you this. Because I
Okay.
know the whole Markstrom thing was coming up.
Uh-huh.
And I know that was like a big thing. So, listen, it was a little speculative the other day when Markstrom was not in the lineup.
Yeah,
because
that was a little silly.
It was a little weird because they brought in their backup and they brought in somebody else and they were like, oh, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so is there any validity to this? Is there any, is there anything going on that we should be aware of?
So there's definitely validity. To that, no. Like him missing practice, there's a million reasons why anyway.
Yeah.
There's a million reasons why people miss practice. I don't think that it was a trade reason, but there's a lot of validity to the fact that Markstrom is real and that the Devils are going to circle back. Not just they might. They are going to circle back on that before anything gets done.
Okay.
I'm going to write a piece in a couple days about my bold predictions for the trade deadline. One of my bold predictions is they're going to trade for 2 goalies.
2?
I think they're going to trade for 2. Even
Okay.
with Nico Dawes, where he is, I think they're going to trade for one that's like the guy and one that's like a third. Like what Scott Wedgwood was for us.
Okay.
Just to get
Sure.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to get that depth in there, because you saw when they're overplaying Dawes because they don't trust Schmidt anymore. So I think that a trade's going to happen. I think it's going to be a big dog. I did write about it, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that the Devils all of a sudden gained leverage in this situation because Edmonton's kind of out in the goalie market. Stuart Skinner's playing phenomenally. They won 13 games in a row.
Yep.
They're doing very well.
Yep.
Carolina's getting Freddie Anderson back. LA, they have these 2 goalies that are fine, Riddick and Talbot. They're both kind of fine, so I don't think they're going to make a huge move unless it's Saros. Unless it's
The
blow
move.
your socks off
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Ottawa's too far out of it. Buffalo's too far out of it. You're starting to run out of teams that need that big goalie. The other team that kind of can change the landscape if they jump into is Colorado. If Colorado thinks, what we got from Georgiev last year and the year before is kind of it was kind of false.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could change this, but you're looking at the situation, and the Devils are the only quote-unquote desperate team. But it's the other teams calling them desperate. Barry Trotz went on the radio, and James Nichols covered this. Barry Trotz went on the radio and said the Devils are the team that need a goalie. When a GM is going on public media and saying that another team needs a goalie and that they're talking to them about it, there's a reason for that. It's because Barry Trotz wants the other teams to call him.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If the other teams were calling him,
He wouldn't do that.
he wouldn't say
would
the
not
Devils.
do that. Yes.
Yeah.
The Devils have more leverage than the national media is giving them credit for, and that's why I think a deal is going to get done, because just like he did with Timo Meier last year, he's going to say this is the price at some point and then wait a couple days.
So let me ask you, do you feel like they would make a move more towards Markstrom or a move more towards a Saros?
I don't think the Saros price is going to go down.
I don't
I
think
don't
it is
either.
either. But I have to say this. I agree with that, with the exception that Askarov has been playing lights
Milwaukee
out.
Admirals.
I know what some will say. He's not proven in NHL, but they're on a 14-game heater. He is absolutely lights out, and
Yep.
he is ready to take the step.
I
What
will
are they
say
playing for this year?
he hasn't proven himself.
But they're in the same position the Devils are in. They're not that far out of the playoffs. They're in a situation where we're do you give up on Saros and give it away? So we had this discussion the other night on a podcast on Sunday night where I said, could the Devil's Advocate, could Nashville be in a position where they're okay, you know what, we need to bolster our offense, so we will give you Saros and get something like a Holtz and get something else that will help our offense because we need that.
Not Holtz.
I know.
That's why it's not
I'm
gonna
just
happen.
saying. I'm just saying.
No.
just throwing a
I'm
name
telling
out
you,
there,
it's you're too low.
well,
If you think it's Holtz, that's not going to. Holtz' first round pick and Graham Clark isn't going to get it done.
They probably want Casey.
Nope. It's either Nemitz or
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Mercer,
yeah. No, now we're going. Yeah,
So-
Nemitz
which is why
yeah.
it's not going to be Saros.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so-
what I'm telling you. You either have to trade Mercer or Nemeth.
Are you surprised by that though? Because Askarov, he hasn't proven it in the NHL,
But he
he's played like 14
he's
games in
got
the
the
NHL.
chops.
That he has done well in that small sample size.
he's got the chops. And
I
he's-
think
and he-
Barry Trotz is learning how to do this on the fly. And he's like one of those guys that's like, oh, I've seen this on TV. Like, I can get this done. And, like, that happens a lot with coaches and other people in these things. Like, it's happening a lot in Anaheim where they ask for these ridiculous prices. I said I wouldn't be surprised that, and again, this doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that Tom Fitzgerald would ever even think about this, but I wouldn't be surprised if when Fitzgerald first called him, he's like, you want Saros, I want Nico. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But this is how these conversations go. And he probably thought they were going to start with Mercer. When you're starting with Nico, that means it's going to cost Mercer, and I don't think he's going to do that. So I think they're going to go back to Markstrom. Markstrom's value is as high right now than it's ever been. Not ever, but since he's been in these talks, because he had a bad season. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but he's coming off a bad season. He's phenomenal this year. He was number one on my list, not counting Saros.
Yeah.
He was number one on my list. That's the guy I want. I think 2 reasons. He's got the term like they're talking about. He is one of the best goalies against like high danger chances.
Yeah.
He's one of the, and the Devils give up a lot of those.
Yes.
And his contract, while scary, is only 2 more years after this. You're going to have him next year, no matter what. And he's easily bought out. His contract is very even throughout.
Yeah.
So the buyout isn't very painful. So like say you bought him out after next season, say he does have a bad season next year, it's only like a 2-year buyout. So that's not too bad. Like you can like handle like that buyout, especially with the cap going up. If you need to reset and it is a disaster of Corey Schneider-esque, I think you can get out of that pretty easy. So I think Markstrom's going to be the guy. I think he's trying to get Markstrom and Hannafin, and I think the price is just going to stay too high for that because I think somebody's going to overpay for Hannafin.
Yeah.
But
Boston.
I think he's going to get Markstrom.
Probably Boston.
They could, yeah. The only thing that scares me with Markstrom is his age, and it's not the long-term solution. Like they still got to figure out the long-term solution. If it's got to be, you know, if
But that could be
bringing him
Dawes.
in, it could be Dawes. But you know, we've also over the last couple of years, all right, hold on. All right, let me know when it's ready to go. But that's the other thing. It's like we've gone through this before. Like, you know, we thought Corey Schneider was the guy, and then he wasn't. And then we thought, you know, we thought Kincaid was the guy, and he wasn't. You know, it's just at some point we have to have that long-term solution in place. So it almost sounds like Markstrom, from the way you're describing it, it's just going to be like a very short-term solution.
Yeah. But you need the short term to get to the long term here.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And I don't think Gibson's a long-term solution.
No.
I think he has a very short window of being good still. And, you know, unless you're like Askarov was the guy to get, and he was available in the offseason, and you didn't pay the price was probably insane. He wanted a top 5 pick, so you need to have the equivalent of that to get Askarov. He wasn't available. If you ask me, I'd want them to go after Spencer Knight in Florida, but I don't know how available he is. I think he might be somewhat available, but with Florida being so good right now, they probably want 2 options going to the playoffs. So the long-term answer is probably something you do in the offseason if you don't think it's Dawes. But I think it's Dawes. I think Dawes is really good. I think he has a lot of the skills to be really good.
And I hope so, too, because we also, you know, we kind of thought that about Akira Schmid last year, too. And it didn't quite work out. And I'm kind of getting tired of this is the guy. No, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
Like Blackwood was the guy. No, Blackwood's not. You know, it's like definitely I want that long-term solution. But that's also me as a goalie.
Yeah. I want to ask you as a goalie something.
Yeah.
Why is goalie voodoo?
Why
is a guy like Blackwood so good for a year, so good for a second year, and then falls off? Like, is it all mental? Is it injuries like piling up? Like, what is the reason why goalies fall off the map?
It could definitely be injuries piling up, and it could also be a mental thing. Because there were times that Blackwood was lights out. Blackwood was phenomenal. And then he would go and he would pass it to someone in the slot for almost an empty net. So it's like, a lot of it also is a lot of it's mental, which makes me kind of question the coaching. Like, what's the goalie coaching like on the Devils if they seem to have somewhat, because, you know, Vitek even shows signs of that too, where it's like, you know, he looks really good, but he mentally maybe he's just not there. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. Those are the questions that go through me, that go through my head. Thinking that there may be some other things that are issues that we're just not taking care of.
So how far back do you think this goes? Because it's been a goalie issue, even like the end of Brodeur. Let's talk about the end of Brodeur.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't great. Even I looked at the last Stadium Series game, and I remember he didn't have a great game, but he had a .715 save percentage in that game. So the end of Brodeur
I remember
was
that
not
game
great.
from what I remember. I was there. It was not good.
Yeah, it was bad. I watched it on TV because I was young and poor, but it was bad. But since then, it's all kinds of Schneider was great, and he's not. And then Kincaid, like you said, great, and not. And then Wedgwood's great, and he's not. And then
Clemenson was the same way. Clemenson, same way, great, then not.
Yeah,
But
And that's been the constant.
Kincaid comes into the situation in 2018 where he carried the team into the playoffs when Schneider was hurt. And I feel like that's been the one thing that the Devils can't get is the curse of Brodeur. It's the one goaltender that's going to carry him over the finish line. And it's like you look at the Saros situation, and the one thing I will say about this with the rise of Askarov is it gives a Nashville a window of saying, you know what, and this is what we were saying before, if we're going to take the gamble on Askarov, this might be the season to do it.
But I think that gravy train's over.
I don't know.
I don't think they'll trade Askarov
now.
now.
I don't know.
I don't think they'll trade Askarov now.
No, not trade Askarov. I'm saying trade Saros.
Oh,
trade
sorry.
Saros and bring Askarov in, because I feel like this is that window where they're like, you know what? We're close to the playoffs. We're not in. If they were solid in the playoffs race, there's no way in hell Saros is going anywhere. But they're right underneath that cusp where it's all right, you know what? This guy's won 13. I think he's won 13 out of the last 16 games for them in this long win streak they have. He's got a 935 or some crazy kind of save percentage. So he's got the shot. They're looking at him and they're like, all right, I think he's ready.
Yeah.
So do you pull the trigger and say, okay, you know what? We're going to bolster the rest of our team because we have this guy here. We're going to give away Saros. We'll give him to a team, and they could bring in an offensive piece. I know you said Holtz. I think Holtz is a bigger piece than a lot of people give him credit for. Because
is he bigger than Mercer? Do you think outside of these walls?
Outside of these walls, yes. I think
you think teams would rather have Holtz than Mercer
because of his upside. I know you might disagree, but I know, and you have way more knowledge than I do. But I just feel like because of
doesn't Mercer have more goals than Holtz this season?
Yes, of course. Yeah, but has Mercer had more opportunity than Holtz?
I mean,
has Mercer been able to play?
They're both on the second power play.
Yeah, but has Mercer been able to play more minutes every single game than Holtz?
I know, but he's on a line with Eric Holla.
I get it, but
you know what I mean?
I know.
And I get it. Holla's so much better than I don't want to say disparage guys, but the fourth line guys that they're going out there ever since McLeod got arrested. Did he get arrested?
The whole thing.
But whatever. He's not here anymore, and he's not coming back. Ever since
that's
that
why
happened.
the Devils won't deal Mercer is because of that situation too.
Yeah, because he can play center, and you need a guy, and Mercer's the new Henry. That's what he is. He's going to be a guy who can easily score 30 goals for you. He can easily play your penalty kill forever. Dawson Mercer is going to be Henrique long term. And if you looked at Henrique's career, it kind of went through these up and downs when he was with the Devils. He was really good his rookie year. And then he was decent his second year. Had a bad year his third year. But then he started scoring 30 goals. So I don't want to trade Mercer because I think guys like that are going to cost $4-ish million a year is what you really need. You need those guys. Yeah, he's not going to score 30 every year.
Yeah.
But he's going to score 30 eventually. He has that prowess. He has that nose for the puck.
Yes.
And we talk about all the time these guys who can't win board battles, these guys who come in and kind of take a step back when things get hairy. Mercer's not that guy. He's a nose to the grindstone kind of guy.
That whole joke about him Mercer the dog, he has that fighter mentality. He is an old school hockey player. He grinds it out. And okay, so for example, in that Kings game, to just kind of bolster what you're saying, Holtz gets taken out by 3 guys in the corner.
Yeah.
It basically gets slide tackled into the corner. He gets crumpled up. He jumps up. He goes back to the bench and waits for his line change and just goes right back out. Same thing with Johnny Marino. Johnny Marino got faced into the boards in that Kings game. I think he lost a tooth. And I'm like, oh, I was watching the game in the stadium, and I'm like, oh, man, there goes Marino. He's gone for the game. He's gone for the game probably for a while. Goes in the boards, comes back out. I agree. Like, Mercer has that it factor of like being that guy that you want in your line, who's going to be reliable. He's going to be out there every game.
Can I change the subject real quick?
Yes.
Just because it kind of jumped into my head. Did you guys see what Miles Wood said this week?
No.
Okay, so Miles Wood kind of complained about Devils coaching this week.
Okay.
To Corey Masisek, ironically, former Devils reporter.
Yep.
And talked about how he was being misused. And I'm trying to figure out, because the Devils lost a lot of players last year, like in last offseason, like Severson and Graves and Tatar. Tatar came into town and said nothing but nice things about his time with the Devils.
Yep.
I think he kind of regrets how the offseason went and how
I think so as well, yeah.
How he got kind of stuck in the situation he's been in. He'd rather have just been here. But Severson has, I think Severson's just not the type of guy to say anything but nice things. And we haven't heard really anything from Graves. Graves just doesn't talk. But where are you with how people view this organization? And it's, because I think that they're like a top destination for free agents, which has never happened in the history of this organization. But because of the roster they have, its youth, where they're going for the future, and really how Tom Fitzgerald has treated players, like even things as small as like the Riley Walsh deal, sending him to Boston and only getting Shane Bowers. And I think Shane Bowers is decent for Utica, but you're losing a young defenseman, a right-handed defenseman for, a guy for center depth basically in Utica. But that was, Riley Walsh was never going to stay here. He kind of signed during the pandemic when Harvard wasn't playing, and Fitzgerald did him solid, and I think that goes a long way. What do you guys think? Like, how do you guys think that the Devils are being seen as like a franchise?
I think around the league they were probably seen pretty well, knowing that Fitzgerald, like you just mentioned with Riley Walsh, is willing to work with the players, and he traded. Didn't he trade McLean's kid, or he traded someone from the Islanders or to the Islanders recently too?
Oh, Thompson.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where. Yeah, I think the Devils are seen as a good franchise. Hey!
There it is!
There we go!
There it is!
Let's go, Devils!
Ah.
Yeah, back in the swamps!
Yeah! Back in the swamp,
Back in the
swamp! Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I think we're probably seen as a pretty good, and we're, if the rumors are definitely true that we're going to go in the series in Prague in the coming up, at the beginning of next season, we're being seen as a bigger franchise just in general.
Yeah.
So it's all good. To me, I think we all look good.
Yeah, I agree, and I wrote about that
we're
on
live.
PutsToPitchforks.com. I wrote about that rumor that from Dave Pagnotta in the fourth period that the Devils are going to open their season in Prague next year. But again, that's the same thing. And you remember the last time we went overseas? I think it was Stockholm, right?
Yes.
It was Sweden. That was when the Devils were coming off their playoff run. That was when Taylor Hall was the MVP. That was when Nico Hischier was, up there in Rookie of the Year voting. That was like there was a lot of things going for this franchise. So when you see things like this right here,
this is huge. This is huge.
Insane. That's huge that that's happening. The fact that you're going to Prague, the fact that they want to showcase these players, and it has a lot to do with Jack Hughes, but it's a team thing too. Like,
it is.
It's a lot of every team has a star now. There's so many stars in the NHL. This is a star-studded league, but it seems like the Devils stars mean a little bit more because they're not just Canadian. There's Canadians, there's Americans, there's Swedish stars, there's
Swiss
stars.
Swiss, yeah.
So they're coming from so Nemitz is Slovakian, so you kind of get like a good mixture
It's
of
a
all
worldly
these different.
team. It's a worldly team.
So when you send them overseas,
Otherworldly,
yeah.
Well, you think about it, like I was doing some research on like Czechia, and to have all those players like right from there,
wow.
that's a big deal.
Oh, walking in a tracksuit.
All right, so
Let's go
the
tracksuit.
Devils have made it in the Tony Soprano track shoots. They are here. They have arrived.
We love that.
And the gold chains. I love the gold chains around the neck as well.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta have that.
I should have worn my gold chain, but I just.
You didn't want to get confused with the players?
Yeah, Odell Beckham was borrowing mine, so I just didn't have it with me. I love how much this team also embraces. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved the Lou Lamoriello years. I loved how much winning was associated with those years, but there wasn't a lot of fun. He didn't let them be players. He didn't let personalities. And they had the guys for that. They had Stevens, like Niedermeyer. Really, when you saw Niedermeyer go to Anaheim, I don't know how much you saw Niedermeyer in Anaheim, but he had a personality. He was a big personality guy, and you never saw that in New Jersey. So that's something. But I like it now. I like seeing their personality. I like seeing them be able to be people and players at the same time. I think that's better for the brand.
I think that, but that's also the evolution of the league. Social media becoming more and more and more. I mean, because Lou is pretty much allowing them to do it, I believe, on the island.
Yeah.
To allow them to have the personality. That's the way the league's gone.
Yeah.
You know what's fun? This
What?
tailgate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This tailgate
fun,
is
guys.
great. If you're not here and you're watching us at home, we got just people everywhere having a great time. We got massive food right behind us over here.
Yeah, they're actually all huddling by the fire.
Yeah, but there's a fire. Yeah.
Yep.
We have obviously the stadium in the background here, but we got the sun setting over here over the horizon.
Sunset
We
over
got
the
some
frozen
clouds
swamp.
up here.
The wind is killing us
The
right
wind
now.
is starting to kick up, but it's a great setting.
Hey, wait, real quick. Big shout out to my brother who shooed away a Flyer fan that was kind of trying to come over here and like be loud. My brother stepped in and was like, "Nah, you gotta get out of here. Go."
He's security.
He's security. This guy right here. Came all the way from Seattle just to shoo
That's
away
right.
Shoo away
Flyer
Flyer
fan.
fans.
Listen, would you not fly cross country to beat up a Flyer fan?
1,000%.
Not beat up, sorry. If there's any
1,000%.
cops, nobody got beat up. I was just kidding. But
But
I would.
But
I
you
mean,
know what,
answer
to
your
go
question.
back to what you were saying before about like, is this becoming a destination? We were talking about the U.S. team and like the draw of Jack Hughes, and we jokingly said way before we went online, is this going to be one of the few outdoor games that the Devils are going to have? And it feels like Jack Hughes, like ESPN and like that kind of crew, they almost want that U.S. star to like hang their hat on. You have Connor Bedard, you have Connor McDavid, you have Sidney Crosby. The Canadians have their big names. Last year, if you watched the playoffs, the way that they hung their hat on Tkachuk, and they were like, "Oh, Tkachuk! Look at Tkachuk! He's the best! Look at him!" If the Devils made it further into the playoffs, that would have been Jack Hughes. The way the national media like just absorbed Tkachuk and was like had him as like he's the American. Oh, Tkachuk. I feel like if the Devils made it further, Jack Hughes would have been the poster boy for the ESPN. He would have been the face going into the playoffs.
He's got his opportunity tonight, man.
He does.
We're about 2.5 hours away
big
from
stage.
the
This is
puck
big stage,
dropping.
yeah.
Right behind us here. Which
Woo!
we gotta say, like the side, the view on this side is a lot different from the view on this side.
sick.
This is like the rich people parking over here, where they're just not like there's only like a couple cars, and then we got everybody hanging out on this side,
barbecuing.
Sam, we may have to do like a
smoking
quick view.
cigars.
And we've had so many people.
Yeah, buddy.
Sam, bring up the drone. Where's
We
the drone?
got the Insane Pollock over here. Met Supernova.
We got Tom, our big fan Tom.
Tom,
What's up,
we got
Tom?
here.
Man, we got every
Tom.
Arquez,
Duggan and Ann crew
We got
crew.
so
Yeah,
many
buddy.
people coming around here saying hello. So if you happen to be coming out to the game, if you're just arriving, come on by.
Hey, listen.
L11.
I'm bringing back
Look for the flags.
Vinny Parisi, because Vinny Parisi, being from Chicago, coming out, he came all the way out here just to be a part of this.
He's popping a Red Bull.
He's
popping
ready
Red
to
Bull.
go.
He's getting ready for tonight.
That's numero dos.
Listen, this has been such a fun and it's so much fun. I got friends from home. What's up, Jackie? How you guys doing? Where's Kev? Where did Kev go? Is he still cooking? He's still on the grill? Tell him to put the grill away already. But we have people. This is the most fun you could have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this has been great.
Dude, it's tailgating all day. We've been here for way too
down there.
long. Vinny, I'm going to hand the reins over to you, my friend.
No, this has been a phenomenal day, and everyone's having a great time. We got
We're all here at the same time. Come on, Vinny. Nick.
Come on.
Nick,
Come
Vinny,
on,
and
there we
everybody
get in
drinking
there.
Get in the picture.
This is what happens when you take a picture
And
while
yes.
on video recording.
Yes.
Everyone
It's an
else has seen us take a
interesting
picture.
This is
I
exciting
feel like
stuff.
I have to need like a ventriloquist dummy over here that can speak for me. We're like, go down,
This is what makes exciting TV.
Exactly.
Taking a picture.
I was a television producer for 10 years, so I know what's good TV, and that was good TV.
There's no doubt.
But Vinny, now that I got you back on, I kind of
Yep.
want to, I asked the guys earlier about the trade deadline and kind of what's going on with that. We talked about Stars. We talked about Markstrom.
Sure.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the trade deadline? Do you think they're going to make a big move?
Honestly, this is going to sound so cliche, chalk, whatever you want to call it. It depends on how the next couple weeks go. If they drop 4 out of their next 5, they're not going to trade all these assets for a goalie for the rest of the season. If they win 4 out of their next 5, they
Don't do it.
obviously could consider something like that. I would see what you have in Nico Dawes. If you make the trade for someone like you were saying, Markstrom, I'm not giving up Mercer or Casey or Nemitz or anyone for Saros. I'm just not doing it.
You think Casey's that good?
Yeah. Okay. I've watched Casey with my own 2 eyes in person.
Okay.
So the rumor is that Holtzy was part of the deal for Markstrom. Would you do that?
See, I would.
I know I wouldn't.
You would not?
I would not.
So you fear, what's your fear? We see
What's my
Sharon Govich,
fear?
how good he's with Calgary.
My fear is there are guys on this team that get hurt pretty often.
That is true.
And
And
we
Holtby
need
still plays on the fourth line.
Yeah, that's the problem. He plays like Sharon Govich went on to Calgary, and he's got
And look,
20-something goals.
yeah.
He wouldn't be doing that with the Devils. I just don't see it because of the opportunity. Do I think he's talented enough to have done it with the Devils? Yes.
But Holtzy also makes that fourth line dangerous.
He does drive a 4th line, which
He does.
I do like to see. And
Yeah.
that is important in today's NHL.
Can I make one point about Sharon Govich? Sharon Govich, we forget, he went into last year on Jack Hughes' wing.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
he didn't do it.
Yeah.
I thought Sharon Govich was a good player that they should have found a spot for, and that not playing in the playoffs was a mistake. But the fact of the matter is that there was a chance they weren't going to qualify him and just let him go and be an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
Probably not, because apparently he had trade value, but the Devils gave him chances
Yes.
to be
The guy.
stapled to Jack Hughes, one of the best players in the world.
Yes.
And it just didn't work. So
But Holtzy has been, there's the whole hashtag free Holtz,
Yes, yes.
He's been kind of, and I get it.
he's a different story.
They're making him learn the hard way, and I like it. I've seen his game improve tremendously. You see him playing a full, he's not out of position a lot of times defensively. He is, making the round.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
We're gonna
Special
have
guest coming.
Special
We're gonna have an
guest.
arrival
Oh,
soon.
That's a
special
big
guest.
one.
We're gonna have an arrival soon.
That's a big one.
You guys are
Yeah.
going to want to stick around for our
Yeah,
next
we got a
guest.
special
Let's
guest
just say,
out here.
Yes, you
let's
are.
just say it's kind of a big deal. But yeah, no, listen.
This guest makes me hungry.
Yeah.
That's my
For
hint.
pocket
Hopefully
cookies.
he brings
That's my
something
And you were
covered
looking
cheese.
forward to this.
You
were looking forward to this.
I have been looking forward to this. Yes.
Vinny, tell me what you think about this. That's the tease I'll give you. It's always the big name. Like he always goes up on the name and then comes down on the question. Like it's always.
Yeah.
And you always feel kind of good about it, though. Like I feel like that special feeling in my tom-tom when he asks me a question. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Like, and then you have to recover and answer the question. But yeah, I just back on the goalie. I don't think you overspend. I don't think you have to. And I think we had this conversation last year with Timo Meier.
Yep.
Do you remember what the Sharks said? The Sharks podcast, and the Sharks blogs were saying, well, if they don't do Mercer, then they'll do Luke Hughes. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
No.
What
that's not
world are
happening.
you in?
Yeah.
And then we kept saying, like, that's not going to happen. That's not how Fitzgerald works. It's not. Fitzgerald didn't just turn into a different GM overnight. Like, he wants to win every single trade. And he knows, if I give you 3 assets that could one day be better than the one asset you got me, just because it's better now, I'm not doing that trade. Like, I'm not taking that risk. He's done it time and time again. Holtz was a formality in the Timo Meier trade last year because they have not Carlson. What's the other guy's name? Eklund.
Oh,
They have
William
Eklund,
Eklund, yeah.
They played together when they were young.
And the people thought they were buddies, and they played on the same line in Sweden, so people thought that was
They
just
would-
an automatic.
And again,
that
like
he was
that's
gonna go.
usually just how the fan trades work.
Yes.
But again, everybody thought that just because of the value that Holtz is a formality to go, and he didn't. They switched out Holtz for Mikko Medulin, who doesn't really have a place here. Like everybody's like, oh, lost the Timo Meier trade because Mikko Medulin played a game in San Jose. Like, I don't understand that. I think Timo Meier is so perfect for this team that he's going to be good. But again, it's just back to the point where that shows you how Fitzgerald trades, and I just don't think he's giving I don't think he's going to ever give the farm
He'll never.
for one player.
No.
Especially, like, the thing we don't talk about is Saros has a year and a half left, and Markstrom has 2.5 years. You just mentioned that these are all short-term options. Why would you give up 2, 3, 4 long-term assets for a short-term fix?
That's what a super GM would do.
Yeah.
Just to bring someone in for now, you know, in a sense to appease the fan base, but it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for long-term success here. And I'm curious if what we're seeing with Holtz and the free Holtz hashtag and how there's that kind of that it seemed like maybe some headbutting with him and Lindy. If potential suitors are kind of looking at that like with some question marks, like wanting to know, like, all right, why doesn't he get a lot of playing time? Like, I wonder if those questions come up, you know, in the conversation that Fitzy is having. Like, okay, why doesn't he play more often? What is the problem?
Yeah.
Because it's got to be something, and maybe it's just Lindy knows that that's the button to push that motivates him.
Yeah.
But then the other GMs are like, well, if he's so great, why doesn't he play more? You know, it's got to be.
We've seen this a lot when Hines was coach, right? There was a lot of questions about, like, why aren't the young guys playing? Like, you got to get them time, but they're also good. So it's a trust factor.
Yep.
I don't think, Lindy Ruff trusts Holtz. And I'm not going to say good or bad reason, but I will say that it seems like it's true, right? It seems like there's not a lot of trust for Holtz. And maybe he holds him to a different standard than, like, the mistakes that Luke Hughes makes, or the mistakes that
it seems that way, for sure.
makes, and, like, or even some of the forwards like Tierney or, like, Nosek, or, like, if they're making mistakes, like, he's still putting them out there.
They have a longer
again.
least than Holtz does.
Yeah.
It's like Holtz makes one mistake. Like, sorry,
he's stable to the bench.
Yeah.
And you yelled at me for like 3 hours.
Wow.
I got yelled at for 3 hours for not wearing a coat. I'm very confused about this. This is okay. I'd be good for beer.
What timing? What timing?
And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our very special guest, Glenn Chico Resch.
Hey, Chico.
Woo! Chico, 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 Chico. Yeah,
Chico right here.
Thank you.
Resch, I flew in all the way from Chicago to see you.
Yeah,
I didn't come for the game. I came
Vinny?
to see you.
Oh, you didn't.
That's it.
But
I
thank
didn't
you.
come for the game. I came for you.
Are you guys on?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Vinny,
are we on?
and,
Yeah, we're on.
Yep.
Camera's right
Yep,
there.
camera's right
we're on.
Is
there.
that right? Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I know
Look at
you've
the
been doing
crowd
that all
Chico
night.
Resch draws.
So everybody seems pretty excited.
Excited
Yeah,
and
look at
cold.
And what's the prediction? Devils or Flyers? Sounds like a Devils crowd here, but we'll see, huh?
I know.
It's kind of interesting. I was just seeing the two goalies. Neither of them thought they were going to be in the NHL today, this
That's
year.
wild.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
They're
so
in the
wild.
minors, and now they're both. I hope you guys like Nico Dawes. I think he played very
Yeah.
well.
He has.
And the Flyer goalie, how do you pronounce his name?
Urson. Samuel
Urson.
Urson.
Urson. Yeah, he's doing well, so
He
it should
is.
be a good matchup.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a closer game than I think we would have predicted in the summer when they announced the Stadium Series. I want to say, especially after that 7-0 drubbing we gave the Flyers last January, that
Are we gloating?
yes, no,
Yes, we are.
but I believe in the summer, looking at who we were playing, I was like, all right, this is going to be a really good game for us.
Yeah.
But then with the way the season's gone, with the Flyers where they are in the standings, where we are, it's going to be a tighter game than I think we thought of when this was first announced.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got to give John Tortorella credit.
Yes.
We all talk about when the Devils are playing well, they're committed, right? They play hard. He's gotten those guys doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're afraid of him because he's pretty tough,
I
but
would
they are
be.
doing very well, and we will too. Our defense is coming back. I was saying the Jonas brothers are playing here, as you all know, right? I'm hoping Jonas Siegenthaler's playing tonight. Yeah, that's what we want, right?
That's awesome.
So we don't know, but it should be a good match.
Oh, yeah.
Chico, in their last game, Jack Hughes, little angry boy. What are your thoughts on him showing that type of passion?
I don't think people realize how intense Jack is.
Yeah.
You know, besides Arvidsson hitting him, and Arvidsson had come back. He'd been out since last April. He was all fired up. He hits Jack. Jack goes back at him. Jack can't score. He's frustrated, big game. And so he was ticked. And the thing is, as much as I love Jack, he let Kopitar go and get the winning goal. So I love Jack, and I'll praise him for all of his offense. But you still, and people don't realize, I think he was mad not just because he didn't score. He didn't like the fact that he didn't pick up Kopitar and they scored the winning goal. So I think there were a lot of factors, but Jack is that way. And you got a great one there. Nico's more calm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's just as intense on the inside.
Yeah.
So we got a beautiful thing down the center. We need Myers to start scoring a little bit, right?
That'd be nice.
And he got one, and Toffoli got one. And then, our defense, I see Nemec just turned 20, so we got to cut him some slack. Hi, how are you?
Hey, Chico, Scotty. Yeah, how you
Scotty,
doing, man?
good to see ya.
Welcome.
Yeah, we're just going over the team, and so we're in pretty good shape, but we got to play well defensively because I still think, as all you do, we're going to make the playoffs, but we can say it, but they got to start winning.
They got to
too,
do it,
right? They got to do it. So
4-point game tonight.
It
is a 4-point game, and who knows with outdoor games? I mean, you just don't know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They've played twice, and the visitors team has won twice in overtime. So who knows what's going to happen?
Chico, good question for you now, because this game is happening at night, which we're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
What do you think the glare situation on the ice would be there? Because I'm thinking that's maybe why they delayed it a little bit instead of having it in the afternoon when we had that Tahoe game a couple years ago where they had to stop it. What's
but what about? Okay, I agree with you. But what about tomorrow's afternoon game? Why do the Rangers get to play in the afternoon? There goes the glare
they're
theory.
the second-hand team in these parts now. We get the primetime game these days.
It is on prime time. I kind of wish it would have been an afternoon game.
It would have been fun.
And it could have been the glare. But, I just think they wanted back-to-back games. And the interesting thing I was saying to Matty Laughlin, the one thing I haven't asked the player, I think once the game starts, the puck's dropped, they're playing, they're focused. Then you're sitting on the bench. You sometimes start looking around, wow. I'm just saying, are there distractions for the players on an outdoor game? I don't know that there are, but for us, we got to stay focused. And what's the other thing we got to do? Our specialty teams, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
We
yeah.
More
gotta
power
pick
play
up
goals and kill penalties.
Yeah,
kill penalties.
power play, too?
Yeah.
It's got to come
And
around.
power play.
Yeah.
The Flyers have 13 shorthanded goals, the most in the league, and they're really aggressive, so we got to be good on that tonight. Hopefully pump in a few when we get the man advantage, but the ice is really good, I heard.
Yeah.
So that's good. And so I don't know what to expect. I'm not going to bet against the Flyers anymore. I would have, like you said, last summer.
In the summer, yeah.
But now it's a different game, and they've experienced winning, which we got to continue to do, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you can't make someone feel good about themselves if you don't win, right? You just can't. You can say, well, feel good. Yeah, but we didn't. Like Jack the other night.
Yeah.
Smash that stick.
Oh, yeah.
$300 stick. I guess that doesn't
$300 for us. Not
Yeah,
for
over him.
someone
No,
like
that's
him.
right.
Snaps like a twig over that bench.
Yeah, he was, man.
He's got a big opportunity, though, tonight. We were talking about it before about being on this massive stage and becoming that centerpiece for the NHL. Jack Hughes being one of those players that can really be the face, not only of the Devils, but of the NHL itself.
I like it.
What do you think about his opportunity to, come
Well,
through with something like that?
I really like Sidney Crosby. Here's just a little thing.
Oh, boy.
Okay, no, I do.
So do
Sidney
I.
Crosby
I'm a
has
huge
represented
Crosby fan. Yep.
our league. Gretzky did it.
Right.
And Lemieux. And, people don't know, and I probably don't care. I'm going off the rails a little. But he's had a girlfriend for 6, 7, 8 years. You don't see her, in the booth and cheering. And so everything he does is low-key because he's the face of the NHL, like you said, not just the Penguins, but the NHL. And I think Jack can be like that, but it's not easy getting there, right?
Right.
Because here's the one thing. I'm going to take a quick vote. Okay, everybody here, Do we all agree the greatest player in the National Hockey League now, and be unbiased, is Connor McDavid?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but here comes the vote. Connor McDavid, even the players say that. But I'm going to give you two players because this is all the argument. Who's better, okay? The first one, there's two guys vying for that. First one, who puts their hand up for Austin Matthews? Who thinks Austin Matthews is better than McKinnon? Nobody? Okay.
Not then McKinnon. Goal scorer, pure goal scorer. He might be the best
overall.
in the NHL. Overall. Nathan is number 2.
In your mind?
In my mind,
Yeah.
McKinnon's number 2.
Well, I will tell you this. I was talking to Curtis Lazar the other day, and we played Colorado and we beat them?
Yes.
And Nathan McKinnon couldn't score on the breakaway. He let Johnny Marino shoot the puck and pushed him. And he said, Curtis Lazar was saying on the ice, he's mad, he's swearing, he's mad at his teammates. He's giving them the grief. I saw him after the game kicking the boards. So I'm just saying, I love that intensity about Nathan McKinnon. And Matthews got 3 the other night against Philly, so he's not bad either. But and then we're going to,
I think he's the best. We never called Ovechkin the best player in the NHL.
No,
but he was the best goal
One of the
scorer,
best-
the best pure goal
Yeah,
scorer.
but we're not talking about goal scorer, best
Overall
defense.
player? Give me
Overall.
McKinnon. Give me
Because
McKinnon.
here's what I would say, Vin. If you got to draft, you're going to draft if you draft number 1, we're taking, at least I am,
Yes.
Connor McDavid.
Yes.
But if you're
100%.
drafting number 2, overall, who's it going to be, Matthews or McKinnon?
McKinnon.
And I like McKinnon,
Yeah,
too.
McKinnon.
Yeah.
Overall,
McKinnon.
well-rounded, much more of a well-rounded player there.
I like
Yeah.
Selke guys, too. Like, give me Barkov. Love Barkov. Alexander Barkov of the Florida
Okay,
Panthers.
okay,
like
well-
when Bergeron was in the league.
Okay,
was
we'll
a guy.
we'll trade Jack Hughes for Barkov. You still
No,
like Barkov?
I would not do that.
Okay,
No,
so
no.
I'm just saying you like Barkov,
No, I
but
like
not
Barkov.
that much.
But I like those Selke guys, Chico. You need the Bergerons or the
Well,
Taves.
how about Nico Hischier?
Yeah.
Top of my list in terms of important Devils.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
right
agree.
there with Hughes. You could go
well,
1,
he's
1A.
more that defensive
Yes,
guy, and he's a
absolutely.
great guy. So we're in good shape, as you said. We all expected more out of this year. Maybe we all got our hopes up a little bit too much. You know what I mean? I thought we were going to score 5 or 6 goals a game.
Yeah.
I thought
We
that's-
started out like that on
Yeah.
the,
Yeah,
with that
we
power
did.
play. Yeah.
Yeah,
Top 9
but
in the offseason.
Hey, Chico, got a question for you. We've seen the Devils with the goaltending situation this year, kind of flip-flop back and forth, this guy to that guy, this guy to that guy. I know me personally, I've been wanting to see them give one of these goaltenders a run. You know, not just, oh, you won? Okay, you lost, you're out. You know, like, I like the fact that Nico Dawes is starting these games in a row. I think that's what they were going with Vanacek until he got hurt.
Yeah.
But Nico Dawes has stepped in there. Tell us, like, how important is that for a goalie? Just to have that confidence in the back of your head. You're not like, oh, I lose one
but
of
let
them
me
out.
ask you this, okay? Let me ask you this. The goalies, we all agree that Dawes and Vitek Vanacek have played better lately, have we? So hold it now. Is that? What do you mean no? No, we're not. But you're not listening. Has he played better?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just
He has
asking you
played
one
better.
question. Has he played better? Well, okay, I'm not going to ask you because you're not being honest. He's played better.
He's played
Is he the go-to guy? But here's what I'm saying. Has Vitek and Nico Dawes just figured something out, got that much better, or maybe our defense
Yep.
is playing in front of them?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. What have I said all season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Yeah, no.
So now we can evaluate the goalies. I kept saying, oh, we got to trade for this guy, that guy. Remember, like one of my best friends was Mackenzie Blackwood, okay? I love Mackenzie. How's he doing there in San Jose? He played the other night against Calgary. Lights out. I
had a good
understand why we traded him, but I'm saying he had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Dawes has that. Vitek has other stuff, but you got to have a good defense first, right, guys?
Right.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if we can. Well, yeah, I mean, depends. Okay, the other night, the winning goal, remember who got the goal in tight?
For the Kings?
Yeah.
Quinton Byfield.
Yeah,
Byfield,
okay.
yeah.
You saw the goal, a rebound. Do you realize that was tipped? Did you realize that Quinton Byfield tipped it? No, most people didn't see that. But I'm just saying, if a shot comes from outside and you just poof, puts it out there, but I didn't even see it till later. And they were interviewing Nico, and someone said, did Byfield tip that? So then it goes down and he can't control it, and Byfield got it and shot it. So I'm just saying a lot of... Oh, Vitek, yeah, he does have a little...
It's been a little bit of an issue.
He does have a little bit of rebound.
But he
But
has
I
played
agree.
better.
I
The last 10 games for VTech, he has looked better. The
He has.
numbers,
That's
the
all I'm
numbers
saying.
back it up, too.
He's a
Exactly.
gamer, though.
Huh?
VTech is a gamer. He's going to give
He
you all
is.
he's got when he goes out there.
Well-
but Nico Dawes, he just seems to be, he tracks the puck so well.
does.
He just always looks like he's squared up, you know?
Yeah.
And he follows it. So that's something that I just noticed.
And what about this? If our defense played really well, are we all sure that that's not a pretty good tandem?
Yeah. So you
Dawes-
said something on the radio
Yeah.
that kind of go along with what you're saying here, that VTech's having to do too much
Yeah, well,
at times.
yes.
To where if our defense was better, like you're saying, yeah, I believe we'd have a much better tandem.
Absolutely. That's all I'm just saying. Okay, guys, everyone, from here till what's the trading deadline?
March 8th.
10th?
March 8th.
Okay, okay, until maybe the 1st of March. Let's evaluate the goalies as we're playing better D, and if they're still not good, maybe you got to make a move. But do you really want to give up a first-round pick for a goalie? No, I don't.
I don't.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely not.
No.
Do you want to give up? Do you want to give up Dawson Mercer for a goal?
No.
So
Absolutely
remember,
not.
the team that has the goalies that are going to be traded, they're not saying, I want to get fired. I'm going to give the New Jersey Devils our goalie, and I'm going to get nothing in return. They don't want to get fired. You're not going to get him for free.
Here's our
You know what I
goalie
mean?
for a 10th round pick.
Yeah.
Oh wait, 10th round picks
Exactly.
don't exist. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So
So
that's good stuff, yeah?
I want to ask your opinion because I know what I saw. The Carolina game.
Yes.
As VTech was skating off the ice, the camera caught a shot of him, like from where I am from Max.
Yeah.
And the look on his eyes that I saw was just like, what more can I do? I don't know if you saw that or not, but it's just like VTech put everything in that game, and then he
did.
did deserve to win that game. That's just what I saw. Like VTech just looks like there are times that it's like, what more can I do? Especially
Well, I
now
think he's
playing better.
frustrated. But here's the thing: the players love VTech. They love Nico. You know what I mean? Because some goalies, I'll tell you, I won't tell you who, they will point somebody out. They get scored on the screen, and they're like looking at the defenseman. What are you doing? So he probably was frustrated, but he does never call or try to make people center them out. But it was frustrating. You're
Yeah,
right.
very.
Yeah, it was. But, that's hockey, and I think we're going to make the playoffs, really, right?
Well, is Detroit
Yeah.
winning right now? Is Detroit winning or losing?
Or are
Right
they
there.
playing?
They're losing? Oh, they're winning? Okay, so the
Who are
Devils...
they playing?
Calgary. But if
Oh.
they would have lost and the Devils would have won, they would have been tied in points, 8th wild card spot. But they're going to win.
Yeah, 4-0.
So at the end of the day, the Devils aren't going to be in a playoff spot no matter what happens here. But they could get there.
But this is still
They
an
could get
important
there.
game.
Yes,
You got,
100%.
you're
it's a
chasing
divisional
Philly.
game.
'Cause-
It's a divisional game.
Yes, the division, the Flyers might sell
Yeah.
at the deadline too. That's
That's
the
the
thing
rumors are
too.
recently. That they're
So-
Well,
willing
we
to
got to
sell.
win 5 games in a row. You
At
got to
some
put a
point.
streak together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's same thing with you people in life. You got to put some weeks together, some days together where you're at the top of your game, right?
Yes.
We all want to do that, and the Devils have to do that.
100%.
And it's a tough schedule. I was saying to Matty Loughlin today, I said, we got to win these home games, even though this is not necessarily a home game, because we're going on the road. But he says, but what? We play better on the road than at home. We don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
We don't want you guys to be robbed of the entertainment.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of bothers me. That it's not a house of horrors coming to the Prudential Center, and that's what we want, right?
It
Yes.
should be, yeah.
Yes.
You want it to be where teams come in there and they're fear and
They're afraid.
Yeah.
How the heck are we gonna beat the New Jersey Devils at the Rock?
Yeah.
Like Evgeny Malkin used to say that was his least favorite building to play in.
Is that
well,
right?
that's not because someone said something mean to him. Some people say mean stuff to him in every rink. It's because when he went there, he had a feeling the Devils would play their best against the Penguins for whatever reason, and
Yeah.
it just hasn't been the case this season so far.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, we agree. That let's be honest. I'll give you one scoop. One thing that's changed. They were talking about tweaking the style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's all they've changed. It's very simple, but instead, if the puck went in the corner and our first D would go in, and he was battling, and it looked like it might come loose. Our second defense in front would go there, and I'm thinking that's not the way we've played it in the old days when the Devils were winning Stanley Cups. The second D stays in front. Now just stay with me, little technical part here. The centerman would go, okay? But here's the problem. So you got a guy in front, D centerman, okay? But now we get the puck and we break out. Say Lazar's on the wing. Do we break out as well? Because now our centerman's down deep.
Yeah.
So that was the theory. Keep the centerman in front, kind of playing D, and then if we get the breakout, boom. But you can't have it all. You got to either go for the D or you got to go for the breakout. And I'm glad that we're going more on the defensive side of the puck because I think that's our strength and our only hope.
It's going to be the key to getting into the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Defense.
Am I the only one that could sit there and listen to Chico Resch go through X's and O's all day? I could lock in X's and O's all day. Some people would find it to be the most boring thing of all time. Here's Vinny though, like just keep talking.
Yeah, thank you,
Please
Vinny.
don't stop.
Because I saw some glazed over eyes here. What are they talking about?
No,
But you guys, here's the thing: in ice hockey, winning and losing doesn't just happen. But it's not. It's subtle. It's not like football, a major change. Just those subtleties. Like you're gonna see our guys flipping it out, maybe chipping it off the boards, or ripping it out because they don't want to get trapped in their own end. You know.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Absolutely.
Anything.
Oh yeah. Before you go, Chico, how did Chico Eats come back? Like what's up with that?
Well,
and thank you, by the way.
Well, thank you guys for being so kind on that. I had it was my reputation. I know at the Prudential Center, food is now becoming expensive, isn't it? But it is everywhere.
Yes, yes.
Isn't it
Sure
crazy
is.
how
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Yes.
So that was one of the complaints. It had gotten expensive, but I wasn't concerned about that. I said, I will pay for something of quality, but it's got to be good.
Sure.
So before I agreed Chico Eats, I said, this food's got to be good. So I tested it, and it is good. On whether you're going to pay the price or not, but that's everything in life, right? You buy a can of beer now, like that big, it's $18.
Yes.
But
I bought one the other night.
just one though, right?
Yeah, just one. That's
just
all
one. Okay.
I just went for I went for quantity over quality when I was there. I was like, well, if I'm going to pay this much.
Yeah, you're going to sip that thing. And yeah, no. So I'm just saying, we're doing Chico Eats, and I love it. The people who own the concession stands, they're just so diehard to try to make it work. You know, and so we just said, why don't you bring that back? You can maybe, convince people. And the food, the only thing I said to someone, you got these foot-long hot dogs, right? And I forget, what do they call them? A Ripper.
Yes,
the Ripper,
the
whatever.
Rippers.
New Jersey Ripper. The only thing was I spilt all over. I don't know if it came off with camera. I said, you should have cut it in half. I couldn't handle it all. So that was my only complaint. But here's one thing. I loved hot dogs, right? There was a study. I don't know how they got to it. For every hot dog you eat, you lose 8 minutes off your life. I said, I'll take that. You know how many hot dogs I have to eat to gain a half a year? I'll eat hot dogs. But anyway, I love hot dogs. So anyway, well, you guys are great. And I don't want to dominate here, but...
we love when
we love having you on here,
Chico. This has been great to have you out here, Chico.
Thank you for your insight. Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody give it up for Chico.
Yeah, come on, everyone. Give it up for Chico Resch.
Chico, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Chico.
Thanks, you guys.
Chico, thank you.
No, that was good.
Absolutely.
Sorry I dominated.
Thanks, Chico. Chico Resch, everyone!
Chico Resch! Woo! Woo! I wish we had an air.
Man, I'm back. I'm back and I have my clothes on.
Yeah, right?
Oof. I do look like Bert Kreischer, apparently. That's the whole reason I took my shirt off.
Well,
just
you
so you know.
have
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have a beard and a dad bod like I do.
I definitely do.
I feel like that's what's
I think
happen.
I need to take a picture of myself and send it to Bert and be like, dude, I think we might be doppelgangers.
Yeah, listen. Anybody who's willing to just go out in public with their shirt off,
Hey, you gotta rip the tarp off every once in a while.
You gotta give respect.
We went from you with your shirt off to Chico.
Hey, you know what? That was one hell of a transition.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
What timing? What timing
what
that
timing
was.
was that?
We got a take it off chant for Chico Resch. So I feel like we're doing something right. guys.
Nikki
I
wasn't
feel like
watching,
we
was
really
she?
hit it on the
So
head.
I feel like
Oh,
Nikki,
she'd be so proud. I actually told her. I called her up. I go, I'm like, babe, hey, guess what? A lot of people have been saying I'm Bert Kreischer, and I had to take the tarp off. She's like, I love it, babe. That's a supportive wife you got there.
Yeah,
Look
hey,
at
listen.
this guy, though. This absolute superstar.
He's a man of
right
the
here,
people.
though. Like, look, nobody
Chico's
cares
the
about
man.
us
no,
anymore.
Chico's the man of the
Chico
people.
is the best.
We've lost the credit, Chico, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
and that's
would
fine.
not.
I'll lose the credit.
And you know what?
Chico.
But here's the thing: is Flyer fans and Devil fans could appreciate him because he did play with the Flyers.
He did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
Yes.
one of my favorite things.
Did he
It's
play
like,
with the Flyers after the Devils?
Yes, after
I
the
thought it
Devils.
was after.
And the
yeah.
Islanders before, so he's played for 3 of the 4 teams playing in that building
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh!
Everybody give it up for our
You,
lad.
Oh,
you
man.
look comfy, cozy.
Seriously.
I love it. You got the scarf, got the hat. Arlette.
We always throw you on, don't we?
Arlette,
But guess
Hi.
what?
Chico Resch is right there, so
Where? Hi.
we're all irrelevant when he's
Yeah.
within 50 feet.
Listen
know.
to
Yeah,
me.
the crowd
I
is over
walked
there.
for 3 days to get here. I've been walking for 3 days.
That's incredible.
I had to tell you,
Oh,
you hung out with my mom, my brother, and I
Oh,
in my
yes.
section the other night.
that was so cool.
And it was so much fun because after we left, my mom goes, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're like friends with Arlette." And I'm
Oh,
like,
good God.
she's the best. I'm like, she's the greatest person.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
So that was so much fun. Yeah. Are you excited for this?
Yeah, because I parked like all the way over there. I'm still in that walking. I've been walking for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
for
I
sure.
parked really. I'm like, okay, it's like right there. L.
And
It's
the-
right there. In fact, it was not.
This is one
It
of those-
actually
yeah.
was not right there.
No, it was not.
Anywho,
Anywho,
let's go Devils!
Yes.
We
Absolutely.
promised we had more of a crowd, but Chico stole them.
Oh, that's okay.
Look, they're all over there with us.
Chico!
That's
Hi
unreal.
guys, how are you?
That's incredible.
Oh
So,
my goodness,
how
we're
does it-
missing one.
He's around.
He's,
No,
here
he's-
somewhere.
he's-
he's
around.
trying
We
really
lost-
hard to escort Chico back
Yeah.
to where he needs
Oh,
to be.
we lost
got
and
it.
he's failing miserably.
Okay, got it. I gotta say hi to Chico.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, take it off. Take off
Yeah,
that side.
take
Go
off
over there,
that
say hi
side.
to
We'll
him.
talk. Keep us
Yeah,
in, Chico.
we'll fill in. But yeah,
Oh.
listen, this has been one of the most
One of-
exciting
one of the longest
days.
podcasts.
So yeah,
Yeah.
longest podcast.
How long are we
Yes.
live for now? Like 2.5
good long time.
Archive it, baby.
Yeah,
Archive it.
Sam's going to upload this. People are going to download it and be like,
Yes.
4 hours. What the?
All I have to say is Durango Steve has it going on because he not only brought like 2 tents, he brought a tarp to block the wind. He has a fire pit.
I know.
A fire pit.
I'm going
Who
over
brings
there in a
a
little
fire
bit.
pit?
I'm going over there in a little bit. My,
That's
my
what I'm
feet are a little
saying.
cold.
All I know is this has been so much fun. The game's
It has
about to
been.
get going.
Yep.
I'm excited to see this game. You know, you got the Jonas Brothers playing, sure, whatever. Big John. I see Big John. Big John.
Let's
Big
go.
John. There he is. He's got the poncho on, so you know it's going to be a rare night. It's going to be a fun night. Big John's got the poncho going. But
You gotta come on camera. Show the poncho.
John,
You gotta
John.
Show the
Yeah, yeah,
poncho.
show the
this
poncho.
is fan and friend of the
Look at
podcast.
Look,
This is
it's
John.
Right there.
Right there.
There,
John, what
look
is
at
the-
that.
what is
You
the
got
architectural,
You got this.
Yeah,
go.
straight
Nice.
from Mexico. Yes.
Perfect.
And it's got his buddy who's a Flyers fan.
We're not gonna show that one. We're gonna
Yeah,
shut
we're,
that
we're
one
not
down.
going to show the flyer one.
He
We'll show
seems
this
nice. You seem like a nice guy, but I mean, I hope your team ruins your night.
But listen, John, can you give a quick plug to your architectural business real quick?
Here, John. Here, take this.
Just real quick. Just real quick. I know you don't want to be on here, but we're going to force you to be on here.
Yeah, so if you need a renovation to your house or a new house, JCB Architectural.
There you
there
go.
you go.
Just Google it, you'll find it.
You'll find it.
Yeah, JCB Architectural.
JCBR.
JCB.
JCB
Architectural.
Architectural. Okay,
There you go.
there he goes. There it is. That's on live forever and ever and ever
There
and
you
ever.
go. Yeah, it's on live and to tape, so it's
Yeah.
gonna live on. It's gonna
Live on forever, bud.
You're gonna get a call in like 6
Hey, listen,
years.
if-
Some
if-
guy's gonna be like, "I heard you."
If you need to put your cooler, my car's right over there, just so you know. Just give you a heads up. This has been, you have to empty it first for sure. Nick, this has been one of the most exciting tailgates that we've had in a little while because, like, even during the playoffs,
Yeah.
when the Devils were playing the Rangers in this last year, it was cool. You'd walk through, you're going through Newark, it's not the same. It's not like this. I love the Prudential Center. Don't get me wrong. I love the atmosphere. I love the Prudential Center. I love the location. Take the train in. This is what I miss. I miss this feeling of barbecuing, having drinks, having fun, ripping your tarp off once in a while, getting a little wild. This feels like old school Devils hockey to me.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Because, we're close to the same age, but you're a little older, so you probably remember those other older Devils games a little bit better than me. Why didn't it work?
That's a great question.
Because, I'm thinking
it's a great question.
And I'm looking at this, and I do live near Philly, so I know I'm more, when we go to concerts and stuff, we go to Wells Fargo, we go to Citizens Bank, we're going to WrestleMania, so we're like, I know how that complex works, and it works, with Citizens Bank, with Lincoln Financial. Those three right there, the train goes right there. Everything really works really well, and it's not in Philly. It's in Philly, but it's not in
Philly. It's
And that's kind of how this works, right? It's not in a major city, but it's near major cities. But it just didn't seem to work here with the Devils. So why do you
my theory is first of all, getting to the arena back in the day, because they didn't have the train station. That's a new thing. Metlife came in. They have the train station that comes here. That's a new thing. Back in the day, it was a pain in the butt to get in and out of this place. Even a regular season game, you drive in here. If you left the game, it took forever to get out of here. So that moving them to an area like Newark where you have mass transit right there, I think was one of the better moves. Now, we've talked about this before where the Devils, there was speculation that they were going to move to Hoboken before they solidified Newark as their home base. There's speculation that they're going to go to Hoboken, which could have been or could not have been a giant nightmare too. It would have been to drive in there. It would have been a nightmare. You had to take the train to go in there.
Yeah.
But there was other areas that they could have chosen, and the reason that they chose Newark was because of the central location next to Newark Penn Station. This, if it was set up the way it is now with the Mall of America, or not a Mall of America, whatever it's called,
American Dream.
American Dream, yes. So if it was set up like that when the Devils were here, I think it would have been a hell of a lot different because, yes, it's going to draw a lot more people in. Yeah, the train that can bring you into this area. If it was set up like that, I feel like they would have stayed. Did I want them to move when they moved? To be honest with you, no.
Yeah.
Because there was something about this area. There was something about coming here, having Giant Stadium in the background, having cities that have their sports complex in that central location.
Yeah.
So my brother is he lives in Seattle for more years than he's lived in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
And so when we go out to Seattle, they have the football stadium, the baseball stadium right next door to each other. And we went to a Seahawks game, and it was cool because you could go hang out in the baseball stadium while you're waiting to go into the stadium, into the football stadium. There's just a whole area set up. You look at some of these other cities, even Philadelphia, where everything is centrally, everything is located in the same situation. To me, that would be great. Why it didn't work? There's probably other reasons, whatever, bureaucracy, blah blah blah. There's other stuff that probably went on.
Yeah.
But listen, I love Newark, but there's nothing beats a tailgate. Nothing beats being in the parking lot like this.
And listen, it's. The Devils over time have built that where American whiskey is, that area is,
and it's beautiful. It's great,
bumping, and it's fun, and
Championship Plaza. Yep.
It's just a little different than this. This feels different than what we get on a nightly basis, and I feel like the Devils fans would come out and do, maybe not to this level, but. I feel like for the big games, for every Rangers game, for every Flyers game, for now every Hurricanes game, I think
if you remember going into Brendan Byrne or Continental when they were in, especially at that time, towards the end of that tenure there, the Devils were winning cups from '95 to '03. I remember being in that building for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And looking over there when we first pulled in, the memories start rushing in, walking through the cattle, whatever that, we call it the cattle, whatever, what the hell is that called? The cattle bridge, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
With the bridge that goes over
the other day, and it got a pretty excited response.
Because that memory to me, I could still hear the banging on the walls, the corrugated metal on the walls, and just everybody banging on the walls and celebrating. or mooing as they walked over, as Max just said.
And
but like,
just on that point is that like when I went to a Red Bulls game, there's
Yes.
like you walk over the bridge, everybody's
that
walking over the bridge.
that's a
everybody's like-
huge and that's the thing. It's like I feel like
That's not
the
Newark.
Devils need that extra thing in Newark. It's there, but it's not there.
Do you think they should move the bars? Like
No,
just
it's
take
not
it and put it on the other
no,
side of the
it's-
lot.
It's not the bars. Like the bars, that whole street. When that street's jumping, that
fun.
is so
It's
much
super
fun.
fun. Yeah.
You go there. You go to American Whiskey. You go to Reds. You go to any of those bars pre-game, especially
Whiskey.
during
Go to
American Whiskey,
Go to
American, yeah, 100%. But when you go to those bars, there's that feeling like everybody's like pumped up and the street's jumping up and down. It's great, but there's just something missing. There's like that camaraderie missing. There's like that extra little piece, like being in a parking lot, putting up a tent, putting up a fire pit in the middle of nowhere. There's something about this that's different than just going to a bar and hanging out.
And it's I think it's almost the wall, right? Because you got half the fan base in American Whiskey and half in bar that will not be named, but
the other one, the other place, yeah.
You know, so there's literally a wall in between.
Yes,
hundreds, maybe thousands of Devils fans, and I agree. Like this felt different. This did feel different.
Yes,
and American Whiskey does do a good job. Of
Have a good night.
Putting that bar outside and getting everybody kind of in that same, congressional space and really utilizing that street. But again, that street's also very compact once you get
once it gets crowded.
Once you get 2,000 or 3,000 people in there, and that place fits, what is it, 19,000, I think?
Yeah.
Prudential Center fits. So, you can fit 20, 30, 40,000 people in these parking lots in all different kind of places. And, I know, friend of the podcast, Rat Pack, he had his tailgate. We had our tailgate. Like, we had large congregations of Devils fans. If you walk through a parking lot, I know you were walking around earlier.
Yeah.
You saw 20 people here, 80 people here, 60 people here, 40 people here. Just like everybody, like with their like you bring your whole squad, and then that squad joins other squads, and then people are sharing food, people are sharing beer.
And that's the best. And that's the best part. And that's where the camaraderie comes in. And that's the one thing. And I hate to say it, like sometimes this fan base, especially on social media, feels so fractured. And that's what kills me because, like, I hate when there's that infighting of, like, I'm a bigger fan, I'm a better fan. I'm like, no, you're not. We're all the same fan. We all cheer for the same team. Like, we're in the same boat. We're going in the same direction. Like, shut up, everybody. Just get along.
Yeah.
Get along to be along. And it drives me nuts because, like, you see that division, and I feel like something like this is what brings the fans together. Here, let's go Devils.
Let's go Devils.
Let's go, boys.
Woo!
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. There you go. I love to hear that.
And you're right about the social media part because, hey,
there it is.
You're live on air.
There it is. Let's go. Hey, cheers to that, Coda.
Cheers.
Hey, boy.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go.
Let's
go. This guy with the face paint. Let's go.
Look at that. Look at this guy.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, buddy. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Everyone's getting
This is
amped up.
also real. Like the social media thing and like the people who are on social media. Do you know how many faceless accounts fight me on social media?
Oh, dude, it doesn't.
I'm kind of a social media faceless social media account, but people know that I run Pucks and Pitchforks.
Yes.
People know that I'm the guy.
Yes.
And when people are like, "Oh, you're faceless," I'm like, "I'm this guy." Like I'm Nick. I'm Nick Villano. That's very like so.
You're an actual human being.
Yeah. Like I yes, I'm running the blogs account, but I don't fight with people on social media because I did it years ago, but I don't see. Again, I'll fight with a Flyers fan. I'll fight with a Rangers fan about the game.
About the game.
Sports. Like,
and respectfully too.
Yeah.
Like anybody that comes up to me tonight that's a Flyer fan, even the person that was like trying to invade the podcast earlier, you could say whatever you want. I will debate you to the end of the earth.
Yeah.
And I will have enough ground to stand on that I can honestly have a serious conversation with you to just back you off because you have no idea what you're talking about. 99% of the time. That's what it feels
also,
like.
What percentage of Flyers fans that are in that arena or that stadium
were alive
have
when they were
ever
last time?
seen
Never.
a Stanley
Never.
Cup?
They've seen
Maybe
a Stanley
like
Cup, but they've seen their
10%?
team lose to it.
No, I'm saying, have you ever seen them win a Stanley Cup?
None.
10%?
10%. 10%.
10%,
And that's one of the biggest things that, like, one of my biggest arguments about any of the local teams, right? So anytime a Flyer fan or a Ranger fan really blank the Devils, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, let's be realistic about this. When was the last time your team was really relevant? When was the last time your team actually won something? And you get into an argument with a Ranger fan, it's like, man, we could go back to the original 6 and the fact that your team only won 1 cup in X amount of years, and then we could go into the whole thing that your team has only won 1 cup in the last 80 years. We won't get into that, but it is what it is. The problem to me with a lot of uninformed fans is they want to hate the Devils because at one point, look at this beautiful human being, Hans, right here. Hans, where were you before? We had Flyer fans trying to come up and bum rush us. And I'm looking around. I'm like, where's Hans? Where's Hans? Where's our bodyguard?
Ain't nobody coming up right now. Ain't nobody
exactly.
going to try to walk up.
But my point being is, there's a lot of times where it's just like that misinformation. Like, you're not gonna come over here and say whatever you got to say. Let's go. Let's go. Are we ready?
Our bodyguards are coming up now.
Yes. Let's go.
Let's go, Devils.
Let's go Devils podcast.
We're ready.
Yeah.
Yes,
let's go. God bless.
6-2.
Oh, we didn't even do predictions.
Yeah, I mean, let's do predictions real quick before we end this. Everybody, come on.
Predictions.
Where's
Everybody,
Vinny?
come back.
Where's Vinny?
He went inside.
Oh.
The girlfriend wanted to see the Jonas.
You're wearing a thing a sniper would wear if he was crawling through the middle of the jungle.
All right, let's start with you. What's your prediction for
Predictions.
Listen, my prediction is the boys are going to come out hot. They're going to come out hot tonight. It's going to be up-tempo
Is there anyone
Devils
left?
hockey. So when they played the Kings, I was so sure that the Devils were going to come out playing hot, but I was dead wrong. They came in a little flat. Not tonight. Devils are going to come in hot. They're going to play a very up-tempo game. I think it's going to be close. The Devils are going to win 4-2.
4-2.
All right.
So for anyone still listening, throw your predictions into the chat. We still got 37 people watching.
Yeah, buddy.
4 hours later.
4 hours. 4 hours of glory. I took my shirt off in 0 degrees weather for
Yeah,
this.
we saw that. We saw. And so did Chico.
Yeah, I know. Of course that happened. Of course.
As soon as you saw he was here, I saw you were like gone. It's like,
Oh my God! Oh God! Sorry, buddy.
We got Arlette over there drinking
Arlette.
Ann Crew Brew.
the
Arlette, do you
beautiful
want to come over
Arlette
here?
with an Ann Crew brew.
You know what? I gave my prediction, so I'm going to hand it over
To Miss
the
Arlette?
one and only, the most beautiful woman outside of my wife. Sorry.
Smart man.
Smart. Yeah,
Smart
very
man.
smart.
We've got one prediction in the chat that's Beachmaster saying 4-3.
4-3. Do you know? Here, I'll go with my
4-3.
prediction. My prediction is the Devils take a 3-0 lead.
Okay.
They do that thing that I hate where they sit
Thank
back and they give up the 3-0 lead. It's 3-3 going into the third, and they win 4-3.
4-3,
So I'm going to
okay.
say the same score, but just a very annoying way to get there.
Are we predicting?
Okay.
Yeah, we're
predicting.
This is Arlette, everybody.
Woo!
This is
Let's
Arlette.
go.
It's
Arlette's
Arlette.
here. Oh, we got more predictions. The predictions are flying in the chat.
Oh.
Zach W says 3-1 Devils. Nicholas says 4-0 Devils.
I said
Select the boy
4-3.
4-2 Devils.
I like
No, not
3-1.
you. Not you, Nick. This Nick. Corbin 5-3 Devils. Art Heaton 3-2 Devils. Some get by on less 4-3 Devils. Cody Hastings with a 4-1 Devils and a woo.
Yeah. Hello.
Stephen Angle 4-2 Devils. Arlette, what do you think will happen tonight?
Oh my goodness. When I heard 3-1, I said, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's see what will happen.
Arlette says 3-1.
That's what Arlette says.
Arlette says 3-1.
Arlette,
Joe.
what is your thoughts on the Devils lately? Like, I've asked all of our guests this. I have to know, just from your perspective, from somebody who's been around this team for so long.
I know.
What did you think of Jack the other night? Getting real fiery and just throwing his stick on the ice and getting
We like
mad.
fiery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like fiery.
I like fiery.
You know, that's something that's been missing, you know, just generally in hockey. Like before, when I first got on board, I remember I was horrified at how much fighting it was. I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, yeah, you know, I got into it after that. And then it's gotten kind of a little softer now, you know. If you know, it's passion. So he's passionate. So I'm okay with that.
We like that. We like
I'm
passion.
okay with passion.
Passion's good.
Yeah, passion's gonna get, you know, more than talent even. You know, you're talented and passionate. Hello. It's a win-win.
Yep.
I'll
you
take
know? So my thoughts on the team, I'm just gonna sigh and because
We're just gonna hope.
you
for
know, there's so much potential.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Sure.
we know it, you know, but yet we're not sure. And that's the uncertainty is difficult.
Yeah.
So we shall take each to get one game at a time.
There's a big
Right?
one.
This is
Literally
this is
a
a
big
pretty
one.
This is
good
a
one
big
to
one. This is
take,
a big
right? You're going to take one game at a time. And let's see what they do tonight.
Yep.
Sam, what's your
Yeah.
prediction?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Oh, wait, do you go last? The short.
Yeah, Sam goes last.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
We had one more prediction. Joseph said 3-1 Devils. Another Nick said a score we're not going to say because he picked the wrong team to win.
Nick, you're on the wrong. You're on the wrong podcast chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah, He said it.
Go away.
threw it in there like 3 times. We get it, Nick. We're not reading your score. Shane Van Sickle just gave a Samu style score.
What's that?
9-1 Devils.
Oh.
9-1 Devils. It's
Ooh,
a Samu
I would
score.
enjoy that.
One
Then
can
I would
dream.
have trouble not like doing one of these like in the box. I'm gonna have to like put it
All
behind
right,
my
so
back.
that's got to be tough for you to be in the box.
Yeah.
To be supposed to be neutral.
Yeah.
Even though you're wearing black for a Flyers funeral.
Yeah.
But then
I love that.
your team scores. Like you got to hold it in. Like,
Yeah,
I
just
don't know
gotta-
if I
just
could do
gotta-
that.
I see. I got the. At least I got the Twitter X account.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I can like do an all cap.
Fire it off.
Freaking girls, go for it. Like I can just very nicely type in, just like just like okay, yes.
I'm like everyone else.
Everything
Yeah,
is
like
amazing. I love everything.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
do a selfie,
hug
don't
Ryan
mind me.
Novosinski and James Nichols in a second. Like hi, so like yeah. I mean,
I don't know. This is not
you
good.
you gotta kind of like
Sorry.
reel it in a lot, but I've done it before, and like
I'm
I've done
even
it
doing a
for.
video.
I've only been in a press box for a Devils game once, and it was a long time ago. And it was for a completely different publication that
Yeah.
I was working for. But I've been in Lightning boxes. I've been in Buccaneers boxes. I've been in Miami Dolphins boxes. It's nobody's doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like everybody has that, like they're holding it in. So it's not hard. And like I've been in boxes where guys do not care, and they're like, "Let's go!" And it's always NFL boxes. And I remember, real quick, a funny story. I was covering a Dolphins Raiders game, and there was this Raiders reporter who did not recognize Reggie McKenzie, who was the Raiders GM at the time.
Yeah.
And the guy like banged the table and goes, "Let's go!" And like Reggie McKenzie goes, and then like walks away and just runs to the bathroom, and like you just see this reporter like drop because he was just like,
Big oops.
"Oh."
I shouldn't have done that.
Oops.
It was a bad Dolphins team too, so I get it. Like it was like one of those like real bad Dolphins years, but I was like, oh man, maybe you just like reel it in a little bit. But yeah, so it's,
how do you like the Crew Brew?
I really like the beer. Like, and I'm not even saying it
Everyone
because I'm
does.
standing next to you. It's really good beer.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
So that's the so we've given out a lot today,
Okay.
and that's been the standard reaction
Yeah.
from everyone.
Yeah.
Is I really like it. I really like it.
It's like a
And
beer that I would go choose to drink. It's really good.
That's
Yeah.
It's always like I was watching as we were giving it out to some people, people who had their first taste of it,
yeah.
and that just initial they crack it open, take that first sip. That's
And
a
they go,
person's
"Ooh."
initial reaction. That's a person's initial reaction to a beverage, and everyone's initial reaction was like, "Wow, this is."
Yeah.
Just like you said, I would have this all
Yeah.
the time.
I would like go ask for this. It's good.
That's awesome.
It's great. And I'm
All right.
not even a beer drinker, but I really like this beer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Even better. Even
how
better.
do people get the beer? Where's the beer?
Departed Souls.
Jersey City. Departed Souls in Jersey City.
And then there are select restaurants that have ordered it,
Okay.
like American Whiskey.
American Whiskey.
Yeah, the bars and all that. So you can also order it through your local liquor store as well.
Oh wow.
Custom order.
Okay.
Yeah. Delivered in about 3 to
Go
5
to the front
days.
desk.
Yeah,
Be like,
yeah.
I need my Crew Brew.
And it sells
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
It sells out quickly.
It should be available too soon at Stagehouse.
Yes.
Tavern.
Oh,
yeah,
go.
Stagehouse
Yeah.
Tavern in
Stagehouse
Mountainside.
Tower.
Yeah. I feel like we have an in there. We know someone.
Yeah,
You do?
Yeah, I think
we know someone.
We know someone.
Very cool. Very cool people.
All right. Well, my prediction time.
Yep.
So before Samu gives his wild prediction that we all want to hear, this stadium, this setting, it could go either way, and the Devils really need this team, this win. This team really needs to come through for us tonight, and I think with the way that they've been playing, and regardless of how they've been playing or not, it's a divisional game. So I'm gonna say it's still gonna be tight. 4-3 Devils.
4-3.
4-3.
Same
4-3.
as me.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah, we're simpatico. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I think all you guys are just a little off.
We're a little off.
Oh, no. Did you make a special graphic for this?
No. This game predictions brought to you by And Crew Brew. And Crew Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. Devils, Flyers, prediction. Devils will win 49-3 over the Philadelphia Flyers. I'll take that to the bank, and that's it. Are you ready, New Jersey?
Yeah. So he's predicting that Dawes has a bad game with 3 goals, apparently.
I guess so, yeah. And I guess if he's taken to the bank, it must be one of those banks that failed recently.
Yeah.
So, one of those
Let's not
California
talk
banks.
about that. That'll get me in trouble. Banks are very strong, everybody. Listen, it's so cool to be here.
This is going to be a
This
lot of
was
fun.
very cool, guys.
Yes.
Like all of you guys, thank you so much in the tailgate. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you to everyone at the tailgate. Thank you to everyone that's still watching.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
We got the big tailgate.
The big-
Sam, what did I tell you? I was like, do you want to call it the big tailgate? Because then you got to deliver. But guess what, Sam? You delivered. We did the
thank
big
you.
tailgate. We did
Thank
the
you.
big tailgate.
Oh, yeah, we want to see a marina. We want to see a football
and
call.
then Sam, if they score 49 goals, I will come out here like Beer Baron for the rest of the night, and I will just walk around here without my shirt on, like Bert. What's his name? Bert Kirshner.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do an entire stand-up set with no shirt on out here if they score 49 goals. So that's what you have to look forward to for post game is 49 goals.
Yep.
The dad bod is coming out, guys.
Well, I want to thank James Nichols and Ryan Novozinski for coming out, Sam Casano, the New Jersey Devils as well, and Chico Resch coming here live
Yep.
in our new lot L11.
L11. Yep. We had the
L11.
pivot, last minute
Yeah,
pivot.
yeah, we had to call an audible. We were only allowed 10 minutes to move our entire tailgate over here.
Yep.
And we did it, and want to thank everybody coming to our tailgate. We'll be back for Devils After Dark after the game. I don't know how we're going to do it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And everybody on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, X Live, and Twitch, thank you for tuning in. Devils Flyers, till next time.
Let's go Devils!